Boom. All right,
In
we
my little
live in
mode,
here.
man. Let's get it. We live.
Bitch ass, busy, the schedule busy. My head in a hoodie, my shorty a goodie. My cousins are crazy, my cousins like boogie. Life is amazing, it is what it should be. Been here for 10, but I feel like a rookie. I tell her look up, cause it's snowing in Tussies. Booked for 3 years, now you can't even book me. Me and Lil Baby, this shit going crazy. Weezy producer.
Yo, let's get it, man. We live, baby. Don't Overthink It podcast, episode 31, man. Starring Young in the Head and
Patrick Haynes.
hey, man, we got another little ASMR edition for you guys tonight, man. You know how we getting. You know we gets down.
Always, man.
Hey, man, we got a special guest in the building. We got Ty Jordan, man. How you doing tonight?
Can't complain. Doesn't make a difference anyway.
Right.
They'll make it different. Oh man, I like this guy already. I already know him. But hey,
we already got our most loyal viewer in the chat already.
shout out to Maria Torres.
Shout out Maria, man.
Shout out to Maria. Hey man, I gotta get into it off the rip.
Let's get
Introduce the guest. This
Yes, sir.
man is an artist. All right, he is an artist. This dude got away with the Clippers, I should say. I ain't even trying to gas him. He know I'll be honest with him. Best barber I ever seen. Best barber ever. I'm waiting on the day you fuck up. I'm be real. Waiting on it. It has not happened. Been cutting my hair.
Don't have it, man. Can't miss. Can't miss. Stay watching.
I ain't seen you miss yet. I'm gonna be real, bro. Hey, if a dude's get off the chair talking about I got a bad cut, I don't know, bro. You might just be ugly. I'm gonna be real, bro.
That's a big one. That's a big one. People think like I changed the dynamic of the way they look, but I can only do so much. You know what I'm saying? Like some stuff is left up to DNA. So
Yeah,
that's very respectable right there. Man.
One with the Clippers, Mr. Six Figure himself. We got Ty Jordan in the chat, man.
Chill. Y'all know how many people on this thing. Yeah.
Did I leave? Did I leave anything out, man? I'm real. Other than being the barber, I know you do a lot of stuff, but like other than the barber, I don't really know too much about what you do. All right. So people who don't, who is Ty Jordan?
That's the question.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
a young man in his latter 20s. Time ticks. So as you guys are 18. I'm 28. I'll be 29 in December.
You're still young, man. Still young.
Yeah, still young.
This nigga is old.
If I knew what I knew at your guys' age, it's crazy. It's different. So the fact that you guys are kind of on this little journey and stuff like that, you're only going to learn. So that's the biggest thing is just learning. You know what I mean? Then you stumble into other things by what you learned. So.
Yeah.
But as for the question at hand was just Ty Jordan is somebody that is. Loving, caring father, trying to just go against the grain, you know what I mean? Like not trying to be like, oh yeah, you're just a barber or just African-American, just doing the, the regular or the norm, you know what I mean? Trying to go against the grain in my own way and not trying to, appease others, So it's just a little
good
simple
barber
stuff.
analogy, going against the grain.
Yeah, of course. That's a good one. That's just natural. You know what I mean?
Good barber.
That's
actually a negative in the African American culture. If you got waves, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Definitely don't want to go against the grain.
Yeah, bad for sure.
Have you ever? Because like as long as I've known you, you've been self-employed, right? So like, have you ever had a job or no?
I have actually, man. Believe it or not, my first job was Walmart. I worked at Walmart. At your guys' age. You're saying you're 18, and I know you're a little older than that, right?
No, I'm 18.
No, Amari's 18, right? But Pat,
I'm 18. Yeah.
Both of y'all 18. Dang.
Yeah.
I'm podcast for the
Pat.
My first job was say that again.
No, I said I'm older than Pat by 3 months. So he just turned 18.
Yeah, that ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. But yeah, no, my first job was at Walmart, man, and I just learned early on that I couldn't really work for anybody, you know what I mean? And I don't know if you guys obviously working for other people right now, like your first job, they kind of treat you as if you're not qualified to do anything. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they talk to you crazy. Oh, you're only 18, or that's exactly how old I was. I was 17, actually. I graduated high school early. So got to Walmart and I was just like, dang, like this is not it. You know what I mean? And I really started to realize all my coworkers were like in their 30s. So what I was dealing with was the thought process of like, if I don't get it together, this is going to be me. in the short term. You know what I mean? I'm going to be at Walmart for the rest of my life trying to figure out or make ends meet. You know what I mean? So that was my first job. I had another job after that. Same thing. They actually made me do more work and paid me less. You know what I mean? So I was doing managerial work. I was doing everything that everybody else wasn't doing, keeping tally on how the businesses ran, and they're paying me like $11 an hour. You know what I mean? So long story short, that was my last job, and I was in I graduated in 2010, so my last job was in 2012. So literally worked for 2 years, and I was just like, yeah, this ain't it. So early on, I knew life is about owning your own or multiple streams of income. Not saying you can't work for somebody, but definitely have money coming in from somewhere else. That would be like the biggest thing.
And then after that, you quit and you were like, hey, I've been cutting my own hair, because that's how you started, right? You were cutting your own hair.
Yep. I started cutting my own, and then I just started like gradually getting into like cutting a few friends and friends of friends. And before you know it, I made like my first 100 in a week. Cause I was really only cutting, like, obviously my clientele wasn't packed. So I was really only cutting just the weekends, because I was still working at that time. This is prior to quitting, but working at the time at Walmart, I would go to work for the 5 days and then cut for 2. So it was cool because I was making decent money at that time, plus cutting hair. You know what I mean? So I felt like I was
Most
up.
definitely.
Got a question in the chat from Maria. She says, was it hard to transition from working for someone else to being self-employed?
I don't think it was hard because I can always feel it. I felt like any day I could quit. If they talk to me extra crazy, I'm gone. You know what I mean? That never happened. Yeah. Obviously, they still got to keep a standard, but I just didn't like attitudes or the vibes. And then we would do all this work, and then the store manager would come in the morning and only praise the managers. I was like, first of all, I'm the one that was stocking them shelves. You know what I'm saying? So, long story short, who wants to do all that work and then not get any credit for it? That's just insane. You know what I mean? We all do work to get some type of satisfaction or some type of, glory in the end, whether if it's finance, money, whatever, or some type of accolade. You know what I mean? We are creatures that chase things. You know what I mean? So when you get, other people taking your credit, that's not cool.
And then so that's bag ain't getting right. Oh man,
you know what I mean? But my thing is, I was fresh out of high school, so when I got the job, I had just got my first car. I was trying to put bead in it. I was trying to get a rim. So my goal,
oh my god,
my goal for working, wasn't the same goal as some of my peers, my coworkers. You know what I mean? So I was like, dang, I'm only here just to get my insurance. Just like you guys are young, I'm trying to get some stuff before I get where you going to college. You want to get some money to stack up. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. So that's the mindset that I was in. I was like, man, I'm trying to, like you said, Pat, I'm trying to flex a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's my thing. It's like, okay, hold on. You try to get rims on the car and shit, but you want to talk to me about flexing. I'm not even trying to do no shit like that.
But mind you, though, I was 17, 18. So that's why I feel where you're coming from. But me being on the latter side, that's where my advice came from that day at the shop, is being at the 10-year ahead of you mark. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I wasn't like all right. Do we get into this now? We're already here, right? I wasn't on some like I'm a flex now. What you gonna flex with, bro? I'm talking about I'm gonna get the fly shit when I'm like your age. When I'm
gonna flex with the savings.
I'm not gonna flex with
it's cool. It's cool to flex. I just feel like, man, our community does that too much, and a lot of times we don't even have what we're flexing. You know what I mean? So that's my biggest thing, is acquire something, then flex. You know what I mean?
So you're telling me to flex for real, be rich for real?
I mean, well, that's what I'm saying. What else is why flex when it's not real? That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense. You're right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of initially what I was saying. Like, I'm trying to get this so I could do this, but don't get something so you can flex. And I'm not saying that's what you were coming from, but that's kind of how it sounded. You're like, I'm trying to get this so I can flex. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? You should get it so that way you could, help your family or whatever the case may be. And in that process, people are going to see you anyway.
That too.
Yeah, that too. You're young. That's how I was when I was young too. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm still young, but when I was 18, all I cared about was shoes, my closet, and my rims and the beat. That was it.
Yeah, that's all good, man.
I got a question for you. So growing up, 18, 19, 20 years old, once you start making that transition into being self-employed and moving up like the ladder, or I would say like, just like the food chain when it comes to status, money, and everything, did you find it hard like seeing your friends do different things, or did you have did you not have friends that fell down that path of drugs, in the streets, all that extra stuff? Did you find that hard or anything like that?
I mean, you're from Stockton too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we all got those friends, you know what I mean? If growing up in the city that we grew up in, your top 10, 15 friends, 5 of them have done different things. Now, are they like strung out on drugs? No. But I mean, have they sold them, been in prison? Like, yeah, we're almost used to it. It's almost like not even really like a big deal anymore. You know what I mean? Somebody out of your graduating class is probably not going to end up where you're at. You know what I mean? Right. You just got to let the chips fall where they may, but it can't stop your forward progression. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I did have friends that, went to jail and stuff like that. They not exactly. It's not paying the bills. You still got to be you at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So I don't think it was hard going up the food chain. I do feel like you do hear not necessarily direct hate, but it's kind of like inadvertently. You know what I mean? Kind of like
the inadvertent jealousy.
Oh, you charging too much for your prices, or you doing this? But it's like I worked hard to get to this point, or I worked hard to get to wherever I'm at, or you spend all that money on that car, or whatever the case may be. People will say anything, but they could be your best friend. You know what I mean? Now, do they mean harm by you, or they mean negativity? No, but they might feel some type of way, and that's perfectly fine. You should make people feel some type of way with the trajectory that you're on. You know what I mean? So if you're not making people feel any type of way, you're almost level. You know what I mean, with them. So and that's not a negative thing, but you should always be striving forward, no matter what people around you are doing.
As the poet Rico Richie said, "You ain't got no haters, you ain't popping." Rico Richie. That his name? That? Who said if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping? Who was that guy? It's Rico Richie, right? Who's Rico Richie?
I know you're not asking me because he sounds like a 2020 rapper.
I don't even know.
No, he's not a 2020 rapper. That guy is like, I don't. This is damn it. We need a producer. Damn it.
Yes, we do. Hey, we do. Very bad.
Free game. Shout out to Jalen Lee says free game, man. All right, man. All right. I'm gonna ask you right now, man. What's the biggest mistake you see guys make getting into the barber business for the first time? Like they're fresh off the block. I want to start cutting hair, man. What's Brad doing wrong off the rip?
One, he's not investing in himself. He's not learning. He's not like, hey, yo, Ty, can I get a one-on-one with you? I'll pay whatever. Oh yeah, come through. Come watch me cut. Come do this. And that's what I did. I didn't pay, but I would hound barbers that I knew that were in a position higher than me or in front of me. You know what I mean? So I would hound them, and try and get them to give me the free game that Jalen just mentioned. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like that. So if they don't do that, they're not really passionate on moving forward. They're just getting in it because of the hype. And that's the biggest mistake, is people are getting it because of the hype. It's all popular now and everybody's trying to become barbers. You know what I mean? Just like every girl on your timeline is doing makeup. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, that's just the new wave right now. It's just image. You know what I mean? Oh, I need my haircut fresh. Oh, I need my makeup done, or nails. I need all this just so I can post on our generation, which is a social media driven generation. You know what I mean? So those are the things that's popular. I'm not knocking them, but obviously I'm in it, but I got in it prior to that, what would you call it? Like that buzz or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I do feel like a lot of people that are coming into it, like your guys' age, 19, 20, whatever, they are in it for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much it. So
what's the right reasons to do it?
I think the right reason for anything is passion. You know what I mean? If you like something, do it. But don't do it just because I see Pat doing something, so I'm going to do it because he's successful at it. Now, don't get me wrong. I might try it, though, but I'm not going to sit here and try and just, you know what I mean? Like, oh, Pat's doing it, so I'm on it. You know what I mean? But it's because
I'm not a bad guy to follow. I get what you're saying. I ain't going to do that to you.
Well,
I'm not going to do that.
But that's anything, though. Like, let's just say because I'm barbering, I'm good at it, doesn't mean that that's your lane. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like the biggest thing, is people getting into something for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean?
Definitely not my lane, man. I called Tyler one day with clippers in my hand. I'll never do this.
You did. I did. Put him down, bro. Put him down. Don't jump.
I'll never do this again. Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it though. Just making sure you're doing something for the right reason, you know what I mean? Or using something to kind of level up and do something else if it's not your main goal or purpose, you know what I mean? So I would think that that's pretty much people's biggest mistake, trying to jump into something they know nothing about, you know?
Okay.
So did you always know that you wanted to be a barber, or like what was like your first passion when you were growing up?
Well, I never really wanted to be a barber like that. It kind of fell in my lap. So that's why it was kind of things happen organically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I said, the guys who make the biggest mistake in this industry is trying to force something to happen. So for me, it happened organically. And I still don't necessarily want to be a barber, you know what I mean? So it was just the freedom that I fell in love with. The fact that I can make my own schedule, the fact that I didn't have anybody talking to me crazy, you know what I mean? Like at my first previous jobs, that just, man, I felt like I wasn't like institutionalized, like, oh, wake up at 4 a.m. or wake up at this time to go here, go there, versus doing it because I want to. You know what I mean? So I don't mind waking up early for clients because this is something I want to do. Am I in love with barbering? I'm not necessarily in love, but what I said I'm in love with is the freedom to make my own schedule, to cut who I want to cut, to raise my prices as I get better, and you know, so on and so forth. You know.
Yeah, I love the fact that you can grow at any rate that you want to. And there's no like I have to work, 6 months or 12 months to get $2 up on my paycheck, man. Like that's what I like about the business side. If I work hard, put in the work for 8 hours a day, from being at that job into my own business, I can make at $50,000 more than what I would ever made at this regular job.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then there's guys like complaining about the prices. I would imagine there's probably a lot of barbers that charge way more than you do, right? Because you got to get the idea from somewhere.
Yeah, of course. And I know them, you know what I mean? So I know cats that charge more. And that's it. Back to what I was saying earlier, is like getting around those people that are further than you. You know what I mean? Not necessarily more talented or skill wise, but some people just have different opportunities to get around the right environment, to get around NBA players, to get around certain people that just raise their stock. You know what I mean? But they could have the same talent, if not less, than I am. You know what I mean? So it's just now I'm like rubbing shoulders with them. You know what I mean? Like, hey, look, how do you do this? How do you do that? You know what I mean? Getting friendships organically, you know what I mean? And then growing with those friends. You know what I mean? Back to your point on how the people we know around us, you know, how does that affect our forward progression? You know what I mean? It shouldn't, because we're trying to get around a new group of friends. You know what I mean? Not that we're leaving our previous friends behind, but just I'm focused on new people that are, you know, developing and acquiring new things. You know what I mean? So I'm not worried about the cats that were on drugs or in prison or just bums. You know what I mean? Still see them, say hi, whatever, but I'm worried about the people that are in front of me. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the relay race. You know what I mean? You're not really worried about the people on the side. You're worried about who's got that baton behind you. You know what I mean? About the passage. So that's kind of how I look at it. You got to keep straight.
You got to keep going, man. And like speaking on like the networking aspect of barbering, because it's a whole lot of people that sat in that chair over the years, right? You got a lot of friends, man. So, like, how has that been? Like,
that's my question.
In what regard, though? Like,
no, I said that was my question. I was going to ask too.
Yeah, like how does like the whole process of, how do I want to word this? Like, how is the networking aspect of barbering worked out for you, right? So like, even from how you get clients, like how do you get clients in the door? Create biggest client story. I wanted to kind of hear it all. Like, all right, I'm gonna start here. How do you go about sourcing clients in general? Like, where do you get them from?
Well, the work speaks for itself. How do you do anything in life? How do you move up? How do you get around? Like, let's say you want to go to NBA. How do you get there? The work. And then as you start working, the connections start to come. You know what I mean? Organically. Or you make something like, hey, look, there goes so-and-so. He's in the same gym as I am. I'm about to go pick his ear. Hey, he's about to be at this gym at 7 o'clock. Well, I'm going to be there just a fly on the wall. You got to put yourself in these situations to just level up. That's it. It's not everything's going to work, but you do that 10 times, that ninth try might be, you know, the one. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I look at it. But as far as clients in my chair, like I usually, in the beginning, I was posting a lot as social media started to hit. After that, it was just, you know, always word of mouth, people tagging like, oh, who cut you? And everybody's posting, reposting. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. But in the beginning, man, it was just word of mouth, you know, being good, always trying to get better. People know, like, even if the haircut or whatever it is that you do is subpar, they know your grind, they can see it. So they're gonna be like, oh no, he's gonna get better. So I'm gonna just keep sticking it out. Or some don't, you know what I mean? And that's on you. You know what I mean? So the networking aspect though, like the people that sit in my chair, like you're always having a conversation with them. So you always want to pick their brain too. Like, oh, what do you do? Like, oh, you do this. Oh, cool. And down to the littlest jobs or whatever. Every job is important. So if they do drywall and you're looking for a house, you're like, oh, let me hit my guy. I need this wall blasted or tore down or whatever the case may be, you know? So just having, when treating everybody with the same type of like respect, like, hey, look, this guy does that. This guy does that. You keep them in your log, your clientele book, you know, it just all kind of works itself out, you know?
Most definitely. Question. Do you believe in high value men?
Explain that.
Do you believe in, as in, of course everybody has a value, but do you believe in, you know, other people have more value than others, which makes them a high value man or a high value woman? Are there characteristics that makes them more valuable than you in the world? Because we have to give value to people in order for them to pay attention to us, basically.
That's true. I definitely believe that. I also believe in, not even if they are high value, they may not be value to you.
Right.
So that's the thing, is like everybody's got value, but it's what makes you high value is how many. I mean, they do. And some of it's untapped though. You know what I mean? Everybody's got value.
Yeah,
everybody
to a certain extent.
People make mistakes though, and they don't get their true value out for people to see it. So when you see somebody, they're just like, oh no, they're worthless or whatever. But
when it comes to careers though, like
when it comes to, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm saying when it comes to careers, do you feel like a high value man? Do you believe in high value man when it comes to like their career, their social status, and you know how they take care of themselves in a public display? Like they have, you know, a good job making six figures, right? Boom, you know, they're 35 years old.
Where is this coming? Go ahead, you're here. I don't know what's going on right now, bro. I don't know where we're going.
No, I'm tripping. No, I'm saying like, you know, they have a good job. No, they have a good job. You know, they make six figures, right? And girls want to be with him, and men
let's get at what you're getting at, bro. I don't know.
And men want to be like him. So do you believe there is a high value man? Do you believe in high value men, basically?
Yes, I do, but not in that regard as to men want to be like him or females want him. Not in that regard. I don't think that makes you a high value man. I think more so the generation we live in, how I spoke on before about social media. You can be whoever you want on social media. So I could be a high value man on social media, but in person, not deliver any value to anyone. You know what I'm saying? Because I can construe whatever I want or conjure up whatever I want on my Instagram page. And that's what people are going off of, is the perception that they see and the likes that they see. But that doesn't make me give value to anybody. You know what I mean? So career wise, I do feel like that. But I also feel like, again, people's value only helps people that need it. You know what I mean? Like if I need something, whatever it is, that person who offers it or has it at a high level, that's when that value becomes high, because now he's valuable to me. But if he's also valuable to other people because everybody needs whatever it is that he's offering, now he's a high value person. Not because what he looks like, what he drives or anything like that. It's because what he gives out, you know what I mean? Or what he offers, a lot of people want. Same kind of like with the barbering, you know what I mean? So there are some things that come with the territory when you are high value in the right way and not just on social media, or you have both. You are high value in actuality and you have what is it? Instagram that goes with it, you know what I mean? Or just a overall, just, you know, aura about you that goes with it. But it can't be like one or the other. Oh, I'm popping on Instagram and I'm just high value over here. But the main thing is just, you know, sticking true to who you are, you know what I mean? And that's really what makes you high value, not, oh, I'm this guy today and this guy tomorrow, you know what I mean? That doesn't make you high value.
Yeah, I feel like social media is a tool.
You know, it is a tool.
You use it to get to a certain point, like in like probably status, or just to help you get out there and whatever you want to do. And then, you know, you just build off of that, because, you know, the in-person interactions rubbing elbows with the right people, in person. That's what makes those connections, strong. Definitely. And stuff like that. Instead of, I can shoot you a DM, you're not going to remember that.
Yeah, exactly.
If we're sitting down and we have like a 20-minute conversation about something, like we can be talking about basketball, right? We have a 20-minute conversation about basketball. You're going to remember that. I am as well. And, that's another connection. That's another, it's part of networking. It's another phone call I can make.
Definitely.
Right. I'm glad you talked about the social media aspect of it, or of like, basically, like, because we had this conversation before, right? You were saying like what you see on here is not. Hey, it don't be the truth, bro. The thing is, it didn't wake me up until I was actually on the receiving end of it, not the negative end though. Like, so what happened was like a couple weeks ago, bro. I was talking to my cousin. I ain't talked to him in a minute, right? But he's following me on Instagram. He watches the podcast every now and again. He followed me on Twitter, and like I'm talking to him, he was like, "Bro, I was talking to my brother, man. You like a little Gary Vee out here, man. You balling." I'm like, all right, man. I wasn't gonna stop him, right?
I wasn't gonna stop him.
I wasn't gonna stop him. I wasn't gonna stop the gas, but I was like, "Yo, I don't know what. I'm not trying to portray an image or anything like that. I'm just being me." And this,
but that's the high value, though. That's high value. If people can see that without you even trying, that's high value. Now, as your money grows and your Instagram grows, those are just bonuses. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like you can't really be worried about what people think or what they see, or if I'm making money, if I'm doing this. But if you're staying true to who you are and just doing what you want to do, that's just going to give you value in itself. And people are going to see the things that you're consistently doing. And they don't know that it may or may not be translating to money or funds, but they're gonna think how they think.
Because they look like, the way it came off to me is like you are playing this up as something that it is not. Now I'm not gonna stop you, right? Because I want to get into another question. Like, the reason I didn't stop him, because I learned over the time there's really no benefit in coming off as a super realistic, authentic person. When I say that, I don't mean like don't lie, but everybody not gonna want to know, like, say, like, I want Tyler, like, oh man, Tyler, you doing it right now, man. Like, oh man, you don't never mess up. And I fucked up the other day, right? But like, if you do that,
here's how. And I'm
you know what I'm saying? But doing that, it's like, oh damn, I don't want to get my hair cut by him, right? It hurts a little bit. So like, do you fall into the, because it's popular now to do that, right? Everybody's talking about, be real, do this, right? Like, or do you fall into the aspect of wanting to be real and authentic, or do you just lean into the I'm gonna show the best and brightest of myself?
I mean, it depends on what regard, though. Like, just life in general. Like, yeah, I mean, nobody really shows the struggle. You know what I mean? It's not really, I don't know, unless you're rapping about like, oh man, I come from this, or blah 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 blah, drugs and this. And it's like, the average person, who do I need to let them know what I'm going through at a certain time, or you know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, enough information is enough. You know what I mean? You don't have to give them people too much or whatever. I just feel like you just stay personal, stay private, and what people see is what people see, you know?
Okay. That's cool, man. I used to do that, falling into the narrative, bro. Thinking, like, letting everybody know what was going down, thinking it was cool. Now, I don't know, bro. I low-key play it up a little bit. Because
some stuff you just gotta let roll off your back, like, oh yeah, I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to like hype him up too. Like, yeah, man, I'm also on the phone with so-and-so, Michael B. Jordan. Like, okay, like, some stuff is just too much. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to do too much. You know what I mean? But you can also be like, yeah, I'm trying, I'm doing this, or just being humble and remaining humble is really key. You know what I mean? But you don't have to display your faults while being humble. You know what I mean?
Really do that.
Okay, so let me tweet it on the line right now. So do you believe in being humble or not?
Yeah, I definitely believe in being humble. But like you said, like how sometimes you can humbly flex as well too. Like how you want to just kind of acquire different things and try and live the life that you want to live. There's nothing wrong with that and posting that. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm in LA. Hey, I'm over here. That's what social media is for. Don't follow me if you don't want to see that. You know what I mean? But I don't have to say like, oh, I got 1,000 in my hand right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just some stuff that's just not really tasteful. People do that all the time.
Some people not gonna like it. You got some niggas that's gonna root that shit on, like your boy right here. You take a picture with 10 bands in the backpack next to you, I'm gonna be the first nigga liking it. Oh,
hey, hey man, the humble flex is the way to go.
Why not have that accruing interest somewhere though? What is it going to do in that backpack? But sit there. You know what I mean?
Post that too. That's
what I'm saying. So there's nothing wrong with having the 10 bands, but what do you need it in cash for? Just so people can see it. You know what I mean?
Hey, whatever you got it for. I mean, you know what? Hey, look, man.
I just like
to see winners win. All right. I like
but
to see
are they really winning though? Because behind that photo, everybody's like, yeah, give me my 2,000 back, give me my 3,000 back, and because they all peace. You're right. Exactly.
Oh man.
That's exactly what happens. So hey, snap that photo and give me my money back. You know what I mean?
Don't do that.
10,000, you know what I mean? Like, or they're just up to no good. So I mean, it's all relative to who that person is or what they feel is flexible, I guess.
Nice.
The humble flex is definitely the way to go.
It hits harder. It hits harder because
I'm not gonna show you I got 10 bands, but I might have 10 bands in my back pocket. You might see it, me just walking away. You feel me?
Right.
I'm not gonna flash it at you on purpose, but you gonna see it. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
You feel me? I might wink at you. You feel me? Got a little thing sitting on, you feel me, in the passenger seat. You feel me? I ain't gonna do nothing too crazy. You feel me? Hey, but nah, that's all jokes. But got a question for you. What is your main motivation every day? What motivates you to get up in the morning and push another day each and every day?
I feel like just goals I set for myself, and then obviously family. I have a child now too, so it just
I want to get into that.
Yeah, combination of things that helps you just want to be better, you know what I mean, and want to strive for more things. And just me personally, you know what I mean, things that I want to acquire, like, you know what, 10 bands really isn't a lot of money. You know what I mean? You got groceries going up, you got rent going up, and houses are getting more expensive. So what is 10 bands really? That's really what you break it down. You're looking at like 3,000 left over after buying a house. If you actually had a house and a mortgage or even rent, even anywhere on 8 Mile in Stockton or Benjamin Holt, you're looking at $2,000 a month.
Yeah,
so you got, that's really not a lot of money. You know what I mean? Unless you're living by yourself or young, obviously, but being a little bit older and actually being in the real world with real responsibilities, $10,000 is not a lot to just flex. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
those are the things that motivate you. Say that again.
How was that transition for you? When you were, 21, 22, transition into being an actual adult when you had to actually start paying bills. How did you transition from being that kid living in your parents' house to actually being on your own? And then talk a little bit about, having, are you married or you just have?
No, not yet. Not
yet. So you have a fiance or a girlfriend?
Girlfriend.
So having a girlfriend and now having a child. So, how did you transition, going up the ladder, parents' house, on your own, girlfriend and child? How did that transition to you?
Well, one thing about life is nothing that's like overnight. Things happen like gradually. So it's never really like, dang, tomorrow I got to just sink or swim. You know what I mean? So it's just little things happen gradually. You start making more money. Then you start, just branching out, doing other things. You know what I mean? So everything just kind of happens in its own season, not just all at once. You know what I mean? So that is one of the positive things that keeps me motivated too, is knowing that nothing is just overnight. You know what I mean? So it's like I could just keep striving forward, and as each obstacle or new lane that I travel in, it's never really just 100 miles an hour. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, boom, it's just this season now. So now I'm like college. Okay, I did that, didn't really work out. Hit barbering full time. So then now I'm like, okay, boom, let me start paying a little more bills. Let me start doing this. And it just kind of all works itself out. You know what I mean? And then as you gain a little bit more status, a little bit more money, then it's like, you meet new people, and then you meet, your girlfriend, and then stuff like that. And then things just transpire after that. You know what I mean? But it's never really just today or tomorrow. You know what I mean? So it's actually not as bad as long as you stay focused and continue, striving for new obstacles and new hurdles to get over. You know what I mean? Because if you stay in the same boat, then it's going to feel like it happens overnight. Like, dang, I was 18 yesterday. Now I'm 25. So, well, you didn't do anything. You've been sitting, not striving for anything. So I feel like that's the biggest thing, is finding something and going after it. And everything else is just kind of piggyback on top of that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Got it.
Because like things happening gradually, that's a really mature way to look at life. I'm not gonna hold you. Yeah. Have you always thought about it like that, or?
I mean, no, but I mean, as you get older, you start to really see things for what they are. You know what I mean? Like when you're young, you're just not focused on what's important because you don't know. you're young, you're just fresh out of high school. So it's like, well, what is it? Everything is just, super wide. But then it's like, you know what? I need to kind of squint a little bit so I can kind of sift out what I need to see and what I don't need to see. You know what I mean?
I need to see the
if
bag.
that makes sense. You know what I mean? There you go. Exactly. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. So, I mean, it happens gradually if, like I said, you're focused on the right things or business or just trying to just better yourself. Everything else is, like I said, just piggybacks on top of who you are already.
I feel that, man. And like you're saying with priorities, right? Because I want to ask you. Well, let me get into it like this first, right? I think it's there's no secret that I'm money first. All right, I'm looking for the money first, right? And everybody's like, "Hey, money isn't everything. You need to do this and that. Money isn't everything." Oh, okay, what am I going to focus on? It. What else is there to do? Right? I don't think I'll go wrong trying to get richer. I don't think you can go wrong doing that, right? Nobody ever, oh man, I got money in my pocket. Damn. Nobody does that, right?
I'm just rich.
Oh man, right? So it's like what I say, like what's the thing to focus on? Like say you got because there's a lot of young guys to watch this show. You fresh out of high school, man. What should you be focusing on?
Man, that's tough. I think, like I said, everybody has their own lane. So figuring it out is the hard part. And the sooner you figure it out, the sooner you know what to focus on. So for me, I didn't know what it was. So that's why I was like, oh, I'm working at Walmart. I'm working over here. Or I'm just trying to put rims in beef because I'm not really focused on too much. And then, there comes a turning point where you're just like, dang, like I'm 20, going on 21, 22, whatever, where you're just kind of like, what's next? Because there's going to come a point in your life, what's next? You know what I mean? And at that point, it's then when you realize and you break down like the top 3 things that you enjoy doing or like to do, or, something that's just always been in you. You know what I mean? Like, dang, how can I make that a business? Or how can I make that a side hustle? I focus on X, Y, and Z. So I would say that's pretty much it, is just knowing what lane you want to travel down. I mean, you can't be in all 3 lanes at once, but just knowing something to move forward after. You know what I mean?
I asked you a bit of a broad question out of that.
You did. You did.
Okay, so all right, I know it's hard to be like, what should you be focusing on, right? We all know some shit you shouldn't be doing, right? So like, what? Give us that. Like, what shouldn't you be? What shouldn't you be doing, bro?
What you mean?
You've been around for a minute, bro. 28, about to be 29 in December.
28,
you know some
29,
shit you shouldn't be doing, bro.
I mean, shoot. Man, women, that's the number one. Like, if that's your sole focus, then you'll never amount to much. You know what I mean? Ooh. That's for sure. So sifting out and, just being a better person all around, you know what I mean? Not trying to hurt people or not trying to be, I'm just somebody all the women desire. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to get you anywhere. So, I mean, I think those are some of the wrong paths that young men that make a little bit of money and not even a lot, just a little bit, will just, I'm him now. You know what I mean? And now they just, spiral out of control. So I think that's number one. Be single or find somebody that is worth, spending a little time with, So I think those are some of the things you can go wrong. I think wrong crowd, you know what I mean? Wrong people around you. I feel like that's a big one too. Environment is key. You know what I mean? Everybody knows when they're not in the right environment, but choosing to stay is the decision you make that could ruin your life. You know what I mean? So I think those are number 1 and number 2 for sure. I mean, that's really it. If you think about it, like what else is there but other than women and bad friends? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
You can get pretty far by just not making mistakes. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. You don't chase women and you got not so shitty friends around you. You'd be surprised at how far you can get with that. That's half the battle.
You can chase the bag a legal way.
And then you chase
there you go.
Where is this legal shit coming from? I feel like I'm being attacked. I've never done anything illegal ever.
Bro. We chase the bag.
And I feel like there's more ways to make money illegally than there is legal. Seems like it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, you make that a business? Like, that's not even legit. You know what I mean? But they got $20,000 coming in from EDD. Like, how does that even, like, what? And everybody else struggling in the pandemic, but you got a fraud of a business that you filed taxes on, falsified, and now they got all this EDD money coming in. Never got caught.
Well,
I know him.
Hey, man,
go ahead,
that sounds like a guy I want to talk to right there. I will. Hey, I don't. Hey,
but one thing I learned is like 5-10 of my friends get away with something. I'm like, all right, bet. As soon as I get my hands dirty, I get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So that's the other thing too. Is some stuff just isn't meant for you. You know what I mean? And you gotta take heed to that too. It's just like, you know what? Like I tried different things 3, 4, 5 different times. And every time I just get one toe in the water, I'm the one in trouble, or the one that's almost caught, or whatever the case may be. So some lifestyles just maybe weren't meant for you. You know what I mean?
That makes complete sense. I believe in doing everything the right way.
You got to.
Exactly, because I don't want the feds like coming knocking on my door. You feel me? Just because I got a legal business going on and I'm making $100,000. You feel me? Every few months. I'd rather, you feel me, take it.
But you can't even spend it though.
Exactly, because
you gotta spend your own cash or figure out too many ways to try and make it work. Why do that?
I'm good. I get the legal way. You know, I take my time to get there because then it's gonna last longer when I'm at the top.
100%.
Nice, man. So you said that you didn't really want to be. You still don't really want to be a barber, right? It's not really what I want to do forever, right? So like, what's Tyler moving towards, man? What's the project right now?
I'll give you an analogy. Like, think about like, I don't know, P. Diddy. Do you want to hear a 20-song album from P. Diddy right now?
No.
I'm good.
But he's into Sean John, De Leon, Ciroc, all these other things that he's investing in that people spend their money on that's still going back into his pocket, not from the original thing that you know him from. You know what I'm saying? So let's just say he may not be in love with rap anymore. Everybody grows older and gets a new love or new passions, where it's just like, oh man, like I'm 40 now, so my core group of followers, they're older now too. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like barbering is the same way, where or life is the same way. Life is a young person's game. You know what I mean? Like when you're young, you got more feet on the ground to where you're just like more energy. You can focus on a million things at once. But once you start getting older, you got to put those things in place, let other people run them. So that way you can kind of just coast. You know what I mean? Like that's the ultimate goal. You know what I mean? Most CEOs don't do much, you know what I mean? But they hire nothing but 18 to 25-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Because they can handle those tasks because they're young. But after a while, you're like, man, I don't want to be running around here trying to make this money and go call this person, go do this, It's like I'd rather pay somebody to do it. You know what I mean? So just like that, like eventually you got to segue into something else. I don't want to be 50 trying to figure out, oh, what's the young cats doing now? They still doing the drop fades or are they doing the waves? You know what I'm saying? Like, they can be like, oh, hey, come on, just come on here, big dog. You know what I mean? Because now I'm like 45, 50 trying to figure out what cuts is in, because I'm not on, maybe Instagram is something else now. So now I'm still on the gram. Like, hey, everybody on the gram no more. But y'all moved on to something else because I don't want to be the old head that's doing that. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So that's my thing, is like, I want to segue before I have to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you want to retire before they push you out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or my clientele is like dwindling and they like, dang, Ty, you could have went to LA or you could have been cutting so-and-so. But here I am still in Stockton at 50, just cutting. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. But for my lifestyle or my life, that's not really what I want. Like, I want to be able to stop doing something before the fans want me to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So you talk about that. Do you plan on moving out of Stockton?
That was a clip.
I plan on moving out of Stockton, yeah, but maybe like part-time. So it's like I don't really want to like, this is actually something that I'm trying to do right now, actually. So I'm thinking about getting like an apartment in the LA area.
Yeah. And
just cutting on the days that I cut. Because right now I have 3 days off as it is already. I only work Wednesday through Saturday. And Wednesday is a half day for me anyway. And so is Saturday. So long story short, I've already like dwindled my schedule down already. And what I'm trying to do is be able to create more time so that way I could be in another city. You know what I'm saying? And not necessarily gain the same type of clientele, because it wouldn't make sense for me to move to LA just to cut the same way that I'm cutting here. You know what I mean? So my goal is to go out there, get different connections. Like I was saying, get those people that are doing other things, not just in barbering, but in other businesses. You know what I mean? Yes, obviously barbering is what I'm doing first. So of course, I'm going to link shoulders with people that I know in LA already that are cutting high level, individuals like Amari said. And just trying to get into that realm. And then I won't have to try and cut like 10 hours a day or 12. I could cut 5 people and be like, oh, I'm up a rack. You know what I mean?
Nice.
When it would take me all day to get that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing, is like working less, but still making more, if not the same. You know what I mean? So my goal is to continue my clients here and then eventually cut every 2 weeks in Stockton. You know what I'm saying? So I would just maybe maximize my schedule a little bit more, cut for 1 week, be in LA for the following whole week, not cut at all, and then come back and cut. So I really only be cutting like twice a month here in Stockton. And eventually, obviously, with more time, eventually I'll probably like segue out and to do other things. But I think I probably, I'm 28 right now, about to be 29. So I think I really only got like maybe 3 more years left.
Yeah, man, that's when life started getting good. You hit the 30s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like I said, I don't want to be, you know, because everybody that's coming in, like at the shop that I work at right now, is like new cat, 18, 19. You know what I mean? I'm just like, man, like I'm old head over here. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather get around people that's a little older than me, so I still feel like young buck, because that's what keeps you grinding. You know what I mean? I don't want to feel like everybody that I'm around, they're looking at me like the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a different headspace that it puts you in. Like, oh yeah, you know, I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? But if you always feel like you're less than, you have something to strive for, you know?
Yeah.
In a good way. Like, oh, I don't want to feel like I'm less than. Where I'm like,
I feel that.
But you know what I mean?
Especially if you can get into an environment where you have all of that in the same place. So like you got guys under you looking up to you. You got guys who are on your level. And then you got dudes who you're looking up to get at. Right. That's a powerful thing.
That's exactly it. That's all you need. It's like a trifecta. You know what I'm saying? You need a little bit of the young bucks to kind of keep that confidence up. Then you need somebody that's on your same level so you can grow with them. And you need people above you so that way you can try and reach them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like the main thing, you know? So you broke that down perfect.
So basically, to when you rewind back to the high school thing, just getting out of high school. So what I got from that, so basically for the young cats, you should focus on 1 to 2 things that are good things to get into, as in, legal ways of making money and legal ways of changing your life, right? Just good things and positive things, spread positivity all around the world. Just get into 1 or 2 of those things. Maybe go to college, start a business, get a trade, and then grind on that and then build off that, basically.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I feel like those couple of things you usually know already. You know what I mean? You just don't really pay them that much attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it could be, but 9 times out of 10, they're always right in front of you. Like I said, I'm not that much older than you guys, but literally I was cutting hair in high school, not like friends or peers, but just kind of like myself, like in between my barber visits. I was getting cut every 2 weeks. So then it was like, all right, let me touch it up, and then boom, boom. And my barber would fix whatever I couldn't, maintain. So it was just kind of like, dang, like this is actually pretty cool. And then I would watch him, like, dang, like if I had another cut, or if I was, the next cut and he was cutting somebody else, I would watch him, you know what I mean? Not knowing that if I fast forward, this is going to be me. I didn't know that, but looking at certain things that you have interest in could take you just a little bit further to another goal, and then another goal, you know what I mean? Then you work that until you get to another goal or another interest that you might have. So it's like, focus on a couple of things, but usually the things that you could focus on are already within you or already displaying itself. So it's not always rocket science, but it is, though, at the same time. That's just life, because when I wasn't really focused on cutting hair until later on, but it was always there. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Yeah. But I was like, oh, I'm still playing baseball. I'm in the newspaper for baseball. I'm thinking I'm going to Delta, and I get to Delta, they throwing 100 miles an hour. I'm like, I don't think high school really prepared me for like the next level. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was focused on. You know what I mean? And then the schools around here, they don't really prepare you like, hey, look, you might go D1, you might go here. They don't really prepare you like how we have things in place now. Like even my boys over at the factory, I don't know if you guys heard of the factory or whatever, but it's a little, gym institution that trains athletes literally to get to the next level.
The factory, actually.
It's like a little middle hub. Like you go from high school, boom, start training. Well, they start training from Pee-wee, novice, whatever, you know what I mean, from Little League. But let's just say you didn't know about them until I graduate high school. And now you got this little middle intermediate space where you're like from high school to college. But now you got everybody that's like second year at college and they're just raw. They've been weightlifting for 2 years now. And you get over there, you just kind of like, oh man, I'm only 28 pounds. You know what I mean? So now it's like things are coming around from ex-athletes and ex-professional athletes here in Stockton that are allowing you to be a part of, so that way you can get to the next level, get to that D1, start lifting weights in that summer of that off time, because not everybody had that. You know what I mean? So like I said, when I came out after high school, it was just like, hey, sink or swim. I could go red shirt, I could do all that type of stuff, but like I said, that the competition just felt like too much. You know what I mean? So I think that's like a big one too, is just, you know, focusing on that.
Okay. You got something, Pap?
Yeah. Any advice to anybody wanting to take the same path as you?
Just like barbering?
Yeah.
I think to take the same path, I feel like it's a little easier now due to social media, like you said, using it as a tool. I know barbers that have come up after me and blew up on the gram. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say they surpassed me like talent wise, but I would say Instagram is almost like a 2021 version of a resume. So people look at the IG first, like, oh, okay, he's popping. He got 1,000 likes. Line could be crooked as a mug though, but you're looking at what other people are posting or what other people are saying. So I feel like it's a little easier because I did all word of mouth or business cards and stuff like that. So it's a little easier, but I would say to take the same path. The advice I would give is to just stay focused, humble, grind. There was times I was working 13 hours days, 14. Now I got 2 half days in my week. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, don't be afraid to put in that work. And that's the other thing too about, like I was saying, to rewind even more, when you said about, what did you say? You said something about like the new barbers coming in or whatever. And I'm like, man, like there's some that are coming in, but they're not trying to put in the work. You know what I mean? It was just like, man, it was days where I was sitting there like missing, oh man, we got this thing on Saturday. I'm like, man, I'm working 12 today. You know what I'm saying? But it's at my own business though. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, putting in 12 for somebody else, that's not it. But I don't mind going home tired, back hurt, feet hurt, because like I said, I made her $1,000, you know what I'm saying? And kept all of it, you know what I'm saying? And didn't get told or talked to crazy or anything like that. So I would say grind, like just grind. Like you're young, like you don't have to be home at 7 p.m. You know what I'm saying? You don't have no family, no kids, no responsibilities other than yourself. You know what I'm saying? So grind. So that'd be my biggest advice. Like I know barbers now that are coming in are just not really like they're leaving before me. And like I said, I got half days. So I'm like, you going already? Like, where you going? So
yeah, man. I said this many times before, and I'll say it again, bro. If you are trying to get rich because you don't want to work at all, you might as well stay broke, bro. I'm gonna be real. You might as well not even waste your time trying to do it because you're too lazy to get rich anyway.
True.
That's not.
It's a hustle for sure. Yeah, it's a hustle.
Okay, I didn't think it was going to die off that. But
no, I had a question. I had a question. I've been waiting.
I thought you were about to say so. That's why I stopped.
No, it's good. No, I understand. I remember 2 days ago when we had the podcast, man. I was literally sitting on my computer, literally for like a good 6 hours, 7 hours. Really had about this much progress because I was really trying to learn this e-commerce business, and now I have a better understanding. You feel me? I mean, that's just a small, putting the work. I just want to add that. But I have a question. How is fatherhood?
Really quick, just to piggyback on what you were saying about the e-commerce, don't be afraid to take courses. There's people out there who
I am cheap. Courses. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am cheap.
Yeah, but why be cheap on your future?
Yeah, you're right.
If this very thing could bring you in, let's just be small, $100,000. And you spend 1,000, and you spend 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you kind of can't look at it that way. You got to look at it as like, I'm investing into myself. So it's like whatever information you get, you are the tool that's going to get you to where you want to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I got a phone call tomorrow with somebody who has one. They're making like $3,200 a month right now.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. So, and let's just say that's extra income. You know what I'm saying? Or let's just say he had a full-time job somewhere else and he was already making $3,200. So now you're looking at a whole different figure. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at it like that. That's one thing I've learned over the years too, is pay. Hey, look, hey, can I shadow you? Nah, man. Hey, I'll give you 100 right now. What do you want to do? Okay, come at this time. Yeah, man, come on now. And then they're willing to share more things with you. When you pay for information not only will you use it because you paid for it, will the other person that is giving it to you, they will feel more for like just free willingly giving you all the tricks of the trade. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just everything that they've gone through. But
it's way higher
if it's
quality
just
when you pay for it.
It's not quality if you don't pay for it. You know what I mean? And you don't pay attention if you don't pay. So that's bottom line.
Yeah,
100%. That's the other advice I would give somebody else. Pay somebody for.
I be trying to YouTube everything, man.
YouTube, that's a good tool. That's a good tool. But I guarantee you'd be taking notes if you had paid $1,000 for somebody's course.
No, where my note? I got
MLA format,
bro. Hey,
I got my notebook. I be taking notes, but it's it's like a video mentor. It's like somebody, they're generalizing it to everybody who's going to watch this video. Let's say 50,000 people watched it. 50,000 people, it's being generalized to them instead of having that one person, that you're like that in person, a personal connection with, and you trying to get the information from them. I understand that is a way different thing, and that's why I am going to move forward towards in the future, because I didn't like how slow that was moving.
It's huge, bro. Like me personally, me and Mark got way two different approaches with that. I'll blow a bag in a fucking minute, right? Especially if it's like on a future. I used to, when I first started working, I was very responsible with money. You get burned a couple times, you stop that real quick, right? So like, I'm cool now, but still, if I think it's going to be beneficial for me in any way, shape, or form, I'm quick to give you some money, right? Because I know the value I'm gonna get from it it's basically free. It's going to pay me back, right?
It's going to pay you back for sure.
The money's going to come back.
That's why I had to start thinking about, because I don't know, I'd be so quick to hold on to it, and then talking to Pat and just learning a lot more. Money is just a tool, and it's something that's going to come around like an infinity.
It's always moving, bro.
It's going to come back to me.
Money is currency, and if you think about water, what is a current? Root word current, water moving forward. So it's like always just coming back. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how you got to look at it. Like you hold on to it. Like you'll have that same 10 bands in that backpack, but what is it doing for you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. That is the investment part.
That's crazy.
That's the investment part. Like, what is he doing with that 10 bands in his backpack? Just trying to flex, but it's not bringing him in any more bands. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of
great minds think alike. That's why this man cuts my hair, not the other niggas, right? Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. I said that exactly for the past 2 days. Money is a current. Right,
it is
in the right place at the right time. Right, you're gonna get wet.
You never see the ocean just standing still. You know what I'm saying? You see a lake,
talking about getting wet.
You see a lake. Wait, what?
Yeah, that's it's money's like water, right? It's water's always moving.
Though. It's a current. Ocean never stands still. But if you go to a lake that's got an actual perimeter, you might see it stand still, but it can't go anywhere. It's just stuck within its parameters. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think money is like you said, currencies like ocean, whatever. And it's just constantly flowing. But if you try to hold on to it, it's gonna pass you up.
All you gotta do is figure out how to put yourself in between the bag. Here you go.
That's true. That's true. What was your other question?
My question was, how was fatherhood? We talked about it quite a bit on there. Like what we would be like as fathers. I want to get like a perspective for someone who is an actual father.
Fatherhood is fun, honestly, but it's only fun if you're financially ready for it. Now, it's not expensive, but there are things that you got to worry about. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to be trying to work OT or work to the point where you can't see your kids, because what kind of lifestyle is that? Where you're working 6 days a week, but you see your daughter or son 1 day a week, and then when you get off work, tired, and you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you do anything tired, it's not going to be 100%. So why would your child get less than 100% when you give your manager or your boss just that, dang near 110? You know what I'm saying? So
who cares about them?
Say that again.
When you said the manager, who cares about them? It's about my child.
That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? So just being present and, like I said, just having the energy to match their energy. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing. And like I said, fatherhood is fun, man. It's not hard at all.
You have a son or a daughter?
I have a daughter.
Oh, that's lit. A daughter grew on me though. I didn't want to have a daughter a couple years ago. It grew on me. I want to have one daughter and 2 sons, and then I'll be good.
No, so I was like, boy. That's what I
know.
was, my little man. And then I had my daughter, right? Because I didn't even find out. Everybody's doing gender reveals and all this, so I didn't even find out because that's how, like, you know what? I don't want to know. I don't want to spoil the surprise. So, cause I know it's a boy, but it turned out to be a girl. And man, it changed my life and my perspective. And it's like I almost want another one, like just girl though. You know what I'm saying? Like I still want my boy, but it's like, hey, if he comes, he comes. I'm not tripping because. Man, just kids in general are a blessing, but man, girls, the way they love their dads is like, man. I was yelling at her one day. I was like, hey, don't touch that. And she comes over and kisses me. I'm just like, man, I was about to spank you. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to yell, like, you know what I'm saying? But they're just so sweet, man. And it's surreal. You know what I mean? So
man,
it's a blessing though, for sure. But like I said, it's not hard. It's just about time and being present. You know what I mean? And that's one thing working for somebody else. You might have a little less flexibility, you know what I mean? So that's like the biggest thing.
Have you put some shit in different perspective too, bro? I thought about that when I first started working. Like I'm here, I'm busting my ass, and I'm sleeping these floors, I'm busting tables. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And I go home and like somebody asks me to do something out my own family. These people love me. I'm like, no, I'm tired. Then I thought about it. It hit me. It was like, bro, I can't be going here giving these people 100% effort. These people I don't know, and they come home and give my
110
effort, bro. I can't do
and
that.
You got your game face on. Hey, how you doing? All right, yeah, I'm good. I'm Pat. I'm
hey, no,
different person at work.
I'd be so
different person. Mind you, that's taking energy from you too, because you're not that upbeat. You know what I'm saying? All the time. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. What were you gonna say, Mark?
No, I was agreeing, especially working in customer service. That's what I've been doing the last 8 months, man. I'd be, hey, how you doing? How's your day going? Yeah, woo. I be tired. I be everything, man. And then I come home, man. I don't be feeling like taking the trash out sometimes, man.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with working for somebody else, but just know that the parameters are like that lake. You're not going to go everywhere. You're just going to be kind of in that circumference or in that just body of water just floating around. Like, yeah, you might get to one end and be like, okay, I'm good over here. But like the ocean, you might just keep going and keep going. You just never know. You might end up in the Atlantic and then move over to the Gulf. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how broad entrepreneurship is, or just working for yourself, for e-commerce or whatever it is. It could really, blow up your horizon to the point where you just like, I don't know where I'm going, but I know I'm going forward. You know what I'm saying? So that's like the biggest thing.
I'm glad you said that too. It's nothing wrong with working for nobody else, because like the way that it's getting painted now, like on social media, if you see the way these people talk about like the 9 to 5 and like the university,
they do.
The 9 to 5.
They put it down. It's like, bro, you guys got to chill out, because like I don't even. It's gotten to the point I don't even really want to be an entrepreneur, bro. I don't want to tell niggas I do anything relating to the field because of how cheesy it's gotten, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what's your take on that? Like, as in people like shitting on 9 to 5 university shit. I don't agree with it at all, bro. Like, y'all got to chill out.
No, I definitely don't either. Like, there's people that need money coming in every day, every week, whatever. And I'd prefer you to work a 9 to 5 than to let your family starve. You know what I'm saying? Or let bills go by. If you're being responsible with that 9 to 5 money, it is what it is. Now, if you feel comfortable staying there, then that's your prerogative. Or if you let that 9 to 5 pay for that $1,000 e-commerce course and you still working until that e-commerce course replaces your monthly check at wherever you're working. Now, that's, to me, that's a little more respectable, because you didn't just satisfy with just the norm. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? But I do feel like I work a 9 to 5 to get my money up, do other things. But it saddened me to see sometimes the struggle that other people went through because they had more bills at the end of the month than they had money working a 9 to 5. You see what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I come from a family of 9 to 5s. Then after a while, they became entrepreneurs. And then I saw even a higher level or higher value man or woman. You know what I'm saying? So that was the thing. So it's like you kind of can see the trajectory. And then you think about the people who really are top dog in the world or run the world or have big things in this world. They're entrepreneurs. They started something off of a dream in a garage or whatever the case may be. And now we're all consumers. Amazon, iPhone, blah, blah, you name it. There's 1,000 of them, not as big, but it's a spectrum of just businesses that we all consume from. So you can't sit here and say like 9 to 5 is the way, but you also can't condemn people for working at 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it all just depends on what your standard of living is. If you want to live regular, that's fine, or that's your normal, or that's your prerogative. You know what I mean? But not everybody wants to, live that 9-to-5 life. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. I worked it for many years, but I realized there was more potential for me. You know what I mean? And more of a access that I wanted to like reach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the main thing. But never be scared of being an entrepreneur. I just would say don't quit your day job until it's starting to pay you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So definitely use that 9-to-5. And there's some people that are making good money working 9-to-5. There's a couple $100,000, $200,000.
That's what I was finna add too. I'm like,
there's a lot of people
making about $250K a year, man.
250, yeah, easy. Yeah. But that's the other thing is you got to go to school for that. So now that's a different mindset.
Some people like school.
Some people do, 100%.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest advocate.
Thank you for that. Some of you niggas need to be in class. All right.
Some people need structure, and then some people don't, because some people can create structure on their own.
I was the same. I don't like structure. Like I like to be able to create my own structure, so that way it doesn't feel like I'm being forced to do something. Because that's kind of how it feels. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that was just me, and that was my mindset. That's how I was in school too, though. You know what I mean? So it didn't just come out of nowhere. That's just how I was. Like, I wasn't rebellious, but it was just like, man, like, why do I gotta listen to you? Like, you regular too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to figure out why am I listening to you? So that was my thing. That was my thing. Like, you got to show me the proof onto reasons why I need to listen to you. Now, the people that I talk to this day that are higher, I'm listening to like this. Could you repeat that? But it's like, if I know you one level above me or in dictating what I'm supposed to do for the day, clock in, go to lunch, go do this. I'm like, hold on, bro. Like you drive that, this type of car or whatever. Like, how are you sitting here trying to act like you're better than me?
Yeah,
and that was my
$2 more than me, bro. Chill out.
I've had cool managers. I didn't have that problem. I had managers that thought they were, I don't even know. You know what I mean? And they were trying to talk to me.
Chill out, bro.
Chill out, exactly.
Chill out, bro.
I think I needed those managers though to get to where I'm at. You know what I'm saying?
Don't know Lotus, bro.
And at the end of the day, everybody's just people. So he can come to work realizing like, hey, I'm not even gonna see my family today because I'm working 6 days. So now he's treating me a certain way, and that's dictated my future because now I'm like, oh, who are you, sir? Like, you know what I mean? Like you make it, like you said, somebody said it, you're making $2 more than I am at the managerial position.
Exactly,
like,
man.
Calm down, brother.
Chill out.
Right.
Not
so that's pretty much how it was.
Like the people that they beat them too, making $3 more than you, just giving you all the advice in the world. But the dude who you work for, you gotta bug him. You gotta say, you gotta bug him to get to the game.
Correct. But yeah, so nothing's wrong with school, nothing's wrong with a 9-to-5. Definitely, like I said, I know people working at Google making good money. And they got managers and they got bosses and stuff too, but they have different experiences than I've had. You know what I mean? So I don't knock it at all at any level or any pay grade. You know what I mean? So I think it's just about what you want and what your goals are. Everybody's goals are different. You know what I mean? Just like basketball, like the league, NBA, you got cats that are LeBron, D-Book, then you got cats that are just kind of like subpar. You know what I'm saying? In that regard. Don't get me wrong, they got there for a reason though, but everybody's goal isn't the same. There's some people that are first one in the gym and last one to leave. There's some people that come in and come as they please, you know what I mean? But they don't amount to be that same person. Are they still making money? Yeah, like they're making $500,000 to $1 million a year. What? To chill? Oh man, I don't knock them.
To clap.
I'm not mad at them. But when it's game 7 and you realize they got the ball, you kind of like, come on, how did he get the ball? Because he don't even put the work in. Yeah. He put enough in to just be regular, though. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like how you got to look at LeBron. He paid $1 million for just a diet. You know what I'm saying?
There's levels to this.
There's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like which level do you want to be on?
Yes, sir.
There you go. Exactly. So if you want to work 9 to 5, man, you're going to have levels to your income. It's going to be what it is. But, it just depends on what 9 to 5 you're working. So that would be the trajectory of levels. You know what I mean?
Well, it's just the personality of the person, and then like how you said earlier, kind of like what type of lifestyle do you want to live? So let me get into the question that I normally ask the guests: what is your ideal lifestyle? So basically, what is your ideal living situation? Right? I normally ask younger people this question. you already have kind of some of this established already.
Right, right.
You know, wife. You know, do you want a wife? Do you want how many kids? You know, nice car, big house. Just give me your ideal living situation.
You got to give niggas some possibilities, man. How many wives? How many cars? How many houses? You got to give niggas some possibilities. This is boring.
Hey, we all live right now.
I know we all live. You got to
yeah. I'm in the process right now of buying a house too. You know, and you know, just one thing is big that we didn't talk about too is credit, and you know, making sure your taxes are paid as an entrepreneur or whatever. So that's one thing you don't really have to worry about working for other people. Is some things are done for you. You know what I'm saying? Money's taken out of your check, blah, blah, blah. You go to H&R Block, they're like, oh, yeah, you already good. Just sign this, sign that. Tax is done. You know, I got to meet with a whole CPA, you know, my write-offs. All this is a long list of things that I got to do just to make sure that my taxes are paid. Credit is good. So that way I can purchase these things. You know what I mean? And proof of income. So long story short, you know, those are some of the things that I'm acquiring. I do have a couple other businesses too. Like, I don't know if you guys heard of Turo.
What is Turo?
Yeah.
Turo is like an app that you can like rent cars.
Oh yeah, I do. Okay, yeah. I know exactly. I know what.
There you go. There you go. So like I said, I'm in the process of buying a house, and I got this business store that's gonna allow me to get. Say that again.
I said, should we invest in Turo?
I mean, you could. We're gonna talk offline about the numbers though.
Okay, for sure. It's all good.
But like I said, so now I'm in a business to where I buy cars, other people pay the bill. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like I'm able to drive certain cars in a sense for free. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's
the main thing. So it's like trying to figure out ways that different income strategies can pay for the lifestyle you live. You know what I mean? So every new asset you buy or liability you buy, it should be an asset to pay off that liability.
Turn it into an asset. That's what Turo's all about. Like you get your car, which is known as a liability, and then you got niggas out here trying to act rich, so they'll rent your car and they're paying for it. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, come on now, that's the blueprint.
That's Robert Kiyosaki to his finest, man.
Yeah, there you go. Rich dad, poor dad.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I mean, that's essentially the lifestyle I want to live. I don't know if I want to do it in Stockton, but I'm definitely buying my first house in Stockton. And then I think I'm going to try and get a little apartment so that way I could be back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
How big
and have that. House? Say that again.
I said, how big do you want the house? Like, what is your, like, do you have a dream house or anything like that? Is that too fairy tale for you?
No. I think, I mean, sometimes you get caught dreaming and you still don't achieve it. So I think sometimes you got to knock out the goals that are achievable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But definitely keep like a vision board. Like, hey, this is where I want to go, but this is the road right here, and there's a few exits that I gotta tend to first. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's kind of how you gotta look at it. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's pretty much how it is. You don't want to get caught, just daydreaming and then not putting boots on the ground. You know what I'm saying? So. But it definitely is good to have a vision. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, look, this is the trajectory that I have for my life. And once this income matches that trajectory, I don't need a dream. I'm going straight to the realtor. You know what I'm saying? And like, hey, I want this one. You know what I mean? And paint it before I move in. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of calls you're able to make when you have that high value income to match. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the biggest thing is not really dreaming about what I want because I know what type of money it's going to take. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm focused on, not necessarily just the bag, but, knowing what your finances are. Like, hey, look, I need to make this in order to obtain that. And that's the dream. But I'm not focused on the dream. I'm focused on the road traveled to get there. You know what I mean? So that's like the main thing. So but yeah, like five bedrooms, pool in the back, slide coming from the front of the house.
hey, I always wanted that, a slide coming from a bedroom or something like that. You feel me? I feel like that's so cool.
But is that in Stockton though? I don't know.
Nah, I would surely have to live somewhere off in the middle of nowhere. If I did that.
Yeah, so I definitely think, buy my first house in Stockton, sit on that, let that either become like a rental property because there's nothing really in Stockton to Airbnb it for. So it'll probably just have to be a rental property.
hey man, wait, how was it like growing up for you and like the time you grew up?
I'm sorry, the time, like you making it seem like
not saying that I mean not like that, but like your generation was a little bit different than ours. You feel me?
Like I got
I'm
this
just
book.
saying, like,
Yeah. No, don't
No,
do it like that. Don't do it like that.
I mean, Stockton is boring. We gonna keep
Yeah.
it band.
It
It's
is pretty
cool when I
boring.
want to be, but
Yeah.
Stockton is boring, man. We do the same thing every day, man.
It's pretty boring.
Nah, yeah, growing up for me was cool. I went to 2 different high schools. That was pretty cool. I went to Western Ranch. I grew up out there for a little bit.
Okay.
And then I moved out north and went to Chavez, and I did I graduated from over there. But I always played baseball, so I feel like when you're an athlete, certain things don't really hit the same.
Yeah.
So it's like when you're an athlete, nobody's really like picking on you like that. Nobody's really just, you know what I'm saying, giving you a hard time. It's like it's your athlete, no matter what sport you play. You know what I mean? So it's just a different lane. So I feel like I didn't really have like it hard growing up. You know what I mean? I got in a couple of fights forever. That was it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I just
normal stuff.
Normal stuff. You know what I mean?
Normal
just being
Stockton living.
Yeah, young buck. But I never had any issue. No. Thankfully, you know what I mean. No run-ins with anything. But I think Stockton's pretty cool if you mind your own business or you don't get into the wrong lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I was raised single mom. She made it happen for us. I was able to get J's and everything that I really wanted. Some stuff was like, nah, we can't get it now. But, it wasn't really like a hard, life. You know what I mean? I grew up really, fortunate, to be honest. So I'm definitely thankful for that. My mom worked 2 jobs and made sure we had everything that we for sure needed and wants when, time permitted itself. You know what I'm saying? So definitely humble beginnings, and now it's how the saying goes, you stay down till you come up. So that's pretty much it.
It must feel good, having your own family. Every man dreams of that, and you be able to take care of your family. I feel like that's something on the bucket list that every man should have or already does have.
True. And I started this business, the Turo business, with my mom and my sister. So they do all the hard work. I just kind of brought them the idea, and I said, "Hey, look, I paid for a course.
You take the
brought
check.
Them the idea, and now it paid for itself. You know what I'm saying? I already made the money back. I already made the money back that I paid for the course. So I paid for the course. I ran to them and I said, "Hey, look, this is kind of boom. I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about that. I don't really know how to formulate it, put it together, but we gotta get something wrong with it." 2 weeks later, we bought something.
Guy, I've been trying to, I ain't gonna lie to you, though. I've been trying to take that same approach to everything I do in life. I'm not really at the point to where I'm just every single time, bro. I look for the opportunity and I see if I can find a nigga who would do it for cheaper than me, and I'm gonna have him do all the work and take the check. I'm gonna be real, like that's what I'm looking for all the whole time. Haven't been successful yet, but still working.
But I mean, the money in the beginning is never really just like, oh man, I gotta recoup it right now. Like you want to let it build, because it's like, that's what as long as you get your initial investment back, boom, let whatever money you make, let that sit until it starts to really accumulate. You know what I'm saying? So that was that, man. And I think in October we're gonna start looking for Airbnbs next. So I think that's gonna be cool, just to have multiple streams of income coming in, even if it's not a lot. You know what I mean? If we got 3 businesses bringing us in, $2,000 a month, you're looking at $6,000, you know what I mean? Cumulatively, you know what I'm saying? So that's not bad, on top of whatever else I make, whoever else in my family makes, you know what I'm saying?
Wanted to talk about that a little bit. What do you believe, when it comes to your household, right? When it comes to men and women, when it comes to finances, how do you think the percentages should split up? I said personally, for me, when I get older, I want it to be 70-30.
As far as what though?
As far as financially, I 70%. I take the big bills. You just take the little bills. You can go buy groceries and stuff like that. I'll take the mortgage, or maybe the rent. Maybe the cable bill, the light bill. The bigger stuff. You do the small stuff to chip in, that's fine.
Exactly. I think relationships should be partnerships as well. You know what I mean? I definitely think 70-30 is a good percentage, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely don't think, and this is just for my lifestyle, I definitely don't think it should be 100% on us, because I mean, that's not really fair. And then you guys, but let's just say, God forbid, you guys break up and you've been putting 100% of your money in for the last 7 years and she's up 100 bands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, even now, I be making sure my girl, you feel me? I see some money getting took out that pocket. You feel me? I don't.
But at the same time, you still want to be a gentleman, though. You don't want to make it seem like she needs to, like, cash you out or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, like, when it comes to like dinners, like I tend to, take care of them all. So, but birthdays and surprises, then she'll be like, oh, I got this one, or I got the, like that type of stuff is cool. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, like, when it comes to like real bills, like this is a partnership. You know what I mean? We're supposed to be doing things together as one. I don't mind doing this extra because, maybe I make more, you know what I mean? So it's like, nah, it's cool. I got this one, so, I mean, but at the same time, you build your woman up too. You help her start her business. You help her travel down a lane that she wants to go down too. And maybe she makes more than you. So now you kind of like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? But you help that, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's kind of how you got to look at it too. You want it to be a little bit more fair, build her up to help her, contribute more, you know what I'm saying? To not to the point where it's like, stressful for her, but it's just like, hey, look, I helped you do this, I helped you do that, boom, boom. Now she's kind of, giving back a lot more, you know what I mean?
Giving back, positively inspiring, motivational person.
There you go, exactly. But now she's living a life that she didn't have before because she was thinking, I got to work this job or work that job, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think you
showed her the way.
There you go, exactly.
My man.
But I mean, that's how you do everybody, though. So that way, and not just speaking like that, like, but you show everybody. So that way, it's not like you're the only one up, and now people are like, "Hey, yo, Ty, can I get this? Can I get that?" It's like, nah, we gonna start this business together. So that way, we got X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? So it's like you bring the people around you who want to work, your friends. People say don't do business with friends and family. I'm like,
that's some of the best staff you can get.
Come on now. And when something don't go right, you going straight to, hey, yo, knocking on the door, like, hey,
where your mom at?
What's up with this last sale? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's one of the best staff.
I think that's the best staff. I just feel like some people don't have the best family. And I think they try to do business with them. And that's kind of what rubbed them the wrong way.
Yeah.
No. So, yeah, it can work for some people, but can't work for other people. And back to what you're saying about your woman, I completely agree with that. It's a partnership.
Definitely.
I got work to do. You got work to do as well. I might do a little bit more because I'm the man, and I want to feel like, I'm taking care of everybody and I'm making sure I am needed. So I'm going to put in that extra, 10 to 15% because I feel like as I should, because, this is my family I'm trying to run and I want everything to, cooperate together. And I want my woman to feel secure in the situation. So that makes it a lot easier on her. Because if it wasn't easy on her, she will be stressing. And not trying to generalize women. And
she's going to be stressing you out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't need – if you stressing, I'm going to be stressed because you stressed because you going to tell me that you stressed and we both going to be stressed and we don't need that. You feel me?
What the fuck just happened?
Bro, it'd be like, bro, you got to get a girl. You feel me?
No.
You got to get a girl. I mean, I'm 18, you feel me? And I got a girl as well.
What does her being stressed have to do with you? That's her.
She going to tell you that she's stressed.
Yeah, you just there to make it better. Don't bring me into this. I didn't ask the question,
bro. When the paragraphs start coming in, boy, double space MLA format, and you read like this.
Bro, you have to get you a girlfriend, man.
You know what? I'm gonna show you niggas how it's done. All right, I'm tired of hearing all these issues. All right,
bro. You feel
don't look like that.
You talking about issues, man. It ain't even an issue like that,
there are
man.
No issues.
This is regular. It's not like anything that's abnormal.
Don't take me down this relationship dynamic rabbit hole. All right, you asked the question. I wasn't gonna get into it either.
It's not abnormal for you to rabbit hole. But you have to make her feel secure. When she feels secure, nothing goes wrong.
She'll be okay.
That's true. That's true.
When she's secure, nothing goes wrong. When she doesn't stress, everything is good. Because I ain't got nothing to stress about. I'm chilling at all times. You feel me? My girl asked me, how do you feel about this? What's wrong? I'm chilling. You feel me? It is what it is. Because if I'm chilling and I'm good, she gonna be good. Because if I'm worried, she gonna be worried because I'm supposed to protect her. I'm supposed to be the one that's supposed to be calm in the situations. If I'm not, she gonna feel like the world is on fire, and I don't need her to feel like that because then that's just all hell is gonna break loose. You feel me?
Right.
Okay.
That's what I gotta say.
Yeah, you definitely want to have a good dynamic, especially going into a relationship. And like I said, you're young too, so it's kind of like you're still living your life and making mistakes and stuff too. So you definitely don't need that added stress because being 18 is already kind of, hard enough going to college and stuff like that. That's tough. You know what I mean?
Right.
These years are like pivotal to your future. You know what I'm saying? So definitely stress is not positivity.
I don't need. All right, you know what? I ain't gonna pay attention. I'm damn about to time Maria out. But all right, look,
who?
Maria Torres, very very loyal fan in the chat.
Gotcha.
She gets a little bit out of hand.
What she say?
She ain't saying nothing important. She just talking. Right. But anywho, all right. Shout out to Valencia. Sisters in the chat. This is a great podcast of the content that's coming forth. You know what? Me too. Before we went there, I was fucking with it a little bit, but it's okay.
Wait. What's the problem? What's the problem?
There's no problem. I'm talking for the content.
But we talked about the relationship dynamic.
Yeah, he checked out.
I didn't care. But
he started checking emails.
I'm telling you, but getting one, you at least got to put in a year, at least 1 year. You feel me?
Okay, I'll put in.
But he does it though. At the same time, though, he does.
I don't need to do it. See?
To be honest, I would say, never mind. I'm not gonna put that out there. I ain't gonna do all that. But I'm gonna tell you this, man.
Okay, we got a post podcast too. I'm gonna tell you for the Patreon.
I'm gonna tell you this, bro.
Okay.
Get your bag. That's what.
Why am I in the hot seat right now? We have a guest here. This is for him.
Hey, we interviewing you right now,
bro. This is a known fact. Me and the guests normally have similar mindsets when it comes to women. My guy.
Hey,
we're not gonna talk about.
I didn't know it was episode 30. I thought it was 1. So I thought
you're episode.
I got some
you're episode 31.
You're episode 31. Yeah. And speaking on episodes,
little slight grind, you feel me? Little slight grind.
Should have been 1. Speaking on episodes, bro. Tyler also has a YouTube channel. It is in the link. It's in the description.
Oh, nice.
They got one video, and somehow these niggas are more popping than we are, which is crazy.
We got how many views we got?
They have one video, and they got more subs than we do, which is crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, man. We gotta have that profile. High value.
You know what? Let me say something to the subs right now. Y'all ain't been supporting enough, all right, for them to have one video, and y'all got to do this. So you know what? Now I got to run an ad. All right, I'll tell you guys about a place.
Bro, it's only us, man.
You know how long it took us to get where we at? All right, let me tell you something. Right, there's a place.
Wait, you joined in 2011. I was like, how old was I? I was 8.
I don't know. Hold on, I'm running an ad, Mario. Let me tell you guys something. You guys really want to support this podcast like you say you do. You guys want to continue to hear me get flamed in the relationship realm. Join the Patreon. $5 a month.
$5. It's a very special place, man.
$5
where every, us when the unicorns, the rainbows, everything, everything makes sense in the Patreon.
Everything makes sense in the Patreon.
So join the Patreon, $5 a month. Just do that, man.
There's going to be new bonuses coming out to the members of the Patreon. There's already people in there. You guys are missing out. $5 a month.
Wait,
hey man, you don't want to miss out. This is your only opportunity, so I will get on it right now. I will close all the other tabs you have open. Keep this tab open, and then click the link in the description for the Patreon. Click the $5. You feel me?
Discord is going live soon too.
So and that's all you gotta do, man. Just
wait. So describe the Patreon. What is that?
So the Patreon, like we just said, special
uncut.
place of salvation. It's what you get with the Patreon. There are uncut podcasts on there because as on YouTube, with certain shit, there's a lot of shit you can't do on here. On the Patreon, we are a lot more loose. And that
so this podcast is going to the Patreon, or this podcast is going to YouTube?
This is going to YouTube. When we talk about crazy shit, we go on the Patreon, right? They're a lot more entertaining. I'm gonna tell you that. And then we are gonna launch a Discord pretty soon, so you guys can get in there and talk to us
very soon. Apple Podcasts and Spotify has been brought up to me multiple times, so we might look forward to
Anchor as well.
There.
We're expanded, and you niggas just want to sit here and watch. All right, if you guys really want to support, get it on the Patreon. All right, you might even make some money. Hey, who knows? You don't know because you're on the Patreon.
I'm gonna tell you right now, this is gonna be your most viewed video though, for sure.
Oh
They
yeah,
always say that.
Hey, I believe so, man. I believe so, man. We share it, we keep pushing. Everybody who's in this live right now, man, make sure you
Shout out to you
share
guys.
the podcast. Make
Share the
sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe right now. You
Yeah.
feel me?
And
Road
shout
to
out to
200
Tyler.
subscribers. We only been doing this for what, like
A
how
little
many
bit more
days?
than a month. We got 31
Yeah, probably like
episodes.
36,
you guys
37
been
days.
moving.
Yeah.
This
Hella
is
views.
this is what we do,
Support Tyler too. They got all his links in the description. Ours
Nice,
as well.
I appreciate that.
This is the most prepared I have been on the podcast. I am going to hold you.
like I said, this is gonna be the most viewed one because look, you prepared. You've been in a hot seat. A lot of content. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. So
got the YouTube.
It's definitely been a lot easier, especially with the conversations, all this free flowing, information and content,
True.
man. Thank you for being a guest and and not being dry, Not saying we had dry guests before.
We haven't had
we
to deal with that yet.
Yeah, we really been able to something gets dead, we able to pick it up real quick. But the fact that you're able to come in here and really, talk and get valuable information. There's never really no like dead silence or anything like that.
Yeah, that's
everything you said, you were giving us game the whole time. We was learning from you the whole time.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. We got to keep on getting these older guests in here. Not calling you old, Tyler, but you are 10 years our senior. All right, you gotta give you that.
Yeah,
but you guys are young though too. Though I'm kind of like in that middle range. You guys are like babies.
I would say you're young. We're still technically teenagers.
Stop lying to this nigga. All right,
you guys are technically teenagers, right?
Yeah.
You don't really start talking about age until you hit 20. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're on the actual spectrum.
Oh, we are adults. We are grown men. If we go to jail today, what they're trying to say,
there's still some places you can't go.
True, but like
we can't drink, we can't buy cigarettes, but we can go to jail.
I think you can't buy cigarettes. You can buy cigarettes now, can't you? I thought it was 18.
You shouldn't be buying cigarettes at 18.
I'm pretty sure you can't buy cigarettes at 18. I'm pretty sure you can
buy cigarettes, so we good.
You shouldn't be buying
cigarettes. I only know cigarettes because I where I work at. So that's it. I work at Walgreens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I know cigarettes. Marble red short. I'm like red shorts.
It's nasty.
Shorts.
Nasty smell.
I have to know them because everybody they're like NXTs. Misty, Capris, what else? American Spirits.
I like musty.
Yeah. Hey man, I gotta know all of them, the colors, especially when I first got there. I'm like, bro, you gotta come up here. Hold up, you gotta come over here. Let me know which ones you talking about, man, because I don't know which ones you talking about.
What's your end goal? Like working there and then go to college and then like what's the next step after that?
Since today was my last day, the goal was to put that money, to save that, use it for college, and use it for my business.
Gotcha. And your business is the e-commerce.
Yes, the e-commerce is my business right now. We're going to get that up very soon, then the next week or two.
Is it through Amazon at all, or what is it through?
It's going to be through Shopify.
Oh, okay, Shopify.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. It's going to be through Shopify. I'm going to sell my clothes, my clothing brand. It's called Young and Ahead.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I say pay for a course, though. Pay for a course.
I am. I'm
going to do the free YouTube. I'm not knocking that at all, but there's going to be some stuff, like you said, in the Patreon that you're not getting anywhere else.
I'm getting the Hustlers University.
I was just about to say that. Get into HU. HU is where I got my game from. I'm learning web design because of those guys in there right now. I've not been steered wrong. You know what? So I'm a nice guy. You can use my link, Amari, and if you don't get no value first day, I'll send you your money back personally.
Hey man, I gotta go to the bank. I gotta go to the ATM, man.
You as friends, you guys gotta challenge yourselves too. Just like Pat just said, like, hey, he said he'll send you your money back. That's free.
You don't get value first, it's free. You don't get value first day, I'll send
you never get a refund if it's not valuable. It's just an L.
Yeah.
You just gotta look at it as like lose. Yeah, exactly. You look at it like, man, like if I pay for this course and it brings me back just my money, I still learn for free. You know what I mean? Even if the business doesn't take off after that. You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking, $50 really, it's not like $50 is like a hit, but it's not like a hit like it used to be. when I like didn't have no money coming in, and I had just like $60 a week for my parents and stuff like that. $50 was a hit.
$60 a week for your parents, nigga. You was up.
No, I mean it wasn't. Wait. It wasn't $60 every week, but I was.
20.
It was like it was
20.
nah. This is how I got paid. I got paid by.
I got paid by having a house.
It was like
right.
I would get paid if I needed to go somewhere. So once every few weeks or whatever, I would get paid like $40-$50, and then that would be my money for like the next week or two until I got some more money. It wasn't really like an allowance, but it was just I was giving some money to go somewhere, but I was saving it. You feel me? That's how I will use a little bit of it, but I'm like, how am I gonna do this next week? How am I gonna get here? I got to lift here because this is before I had my car. When I had got my license and stuff like that, and my car, this is I got my job at Walgreens literally 5 days after I got my license.
Oh,
so
nice.
So everything after that was just paid right there for me. Boom, I started getting paid from Walgreens. Boom, gas is not that much for me. I got a 98 Toyota Camry. You feel me? I ain't paying too much for gas.
You weren't even born in 98, was you?
No, I was born in 03.
Nice.
Woo!
Yeah. Ty's giving you guys some real life choices and avenues to go. He is, all right. And I gotta ask Tyler, we've been interviewing you this whole time. Do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, Pat, what you got? What do you have as like a 3-year plan for yourself?
It's like a 3-year plan, man. All right, here we go. Breaking it down, right? So I'm working a job right now. I'm using that money to invest in figuring out how to make more. Straight up like that, bro. I'm learning a trade right now. I'm learning web design, bro. Gonna be building websites for companies and freelancers. And hopefully I can work for myself, right? The reason I chose web design is because it's a location independent job. So I can pretty much travel and make money no matter where I'm at with a laptop and a phone and not really be rich, right?
Correct.
Yeah, you're not really rich, but I can make money no matter where I'm at. I can live life and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Yeah, man. Got to get the necessities out the way. Got the license out the way. Got to get a car. Got to get a house, do the regular shit. But yeah, man. That's
good though. That's good. All you gotta realize too, all your guys' stuff that you guys gotta do, they're like small. Everybody's doing license. Everybody needs a license. Oh, first job. Everybody needs a first job. Like all that stuff is like the easy stuff. You know what I mean? Once you start to really bottom out on that stuff, like all right, I've had a job for 5 years now or 3 years now. It's like, what's next? That's when life choices start to really, kick in. You're like, dang, I've been doing this, and things become routine. You know what I'm saying? And that's not where multi-millionaires or 100,000aires come from. Routine. You know what I mean? They come from setting a routine that they do daily, but as that, their business is not just I'm doing the same thing, taking calls, doing this all day, every day. They're, structuring their businesses like X, Y, and Z, trying to do different things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But just working and stuff like that to get to the next level, it's a little different.
I was feeling the what's next at week 3 of working at a job. Bro. I was like, yo.
But not everybody has that mindset. So usually it's year 3 for a lot of people. Like, all right, look, what's next? But yeah, week 3, that's a blessing. You got to look at it like having that mindset at such an early age is not really, usual for the environment that we come from. You know what I mean? There's so many people that I just run across that are in the same boat and have been in the same boat. And that's the boat they want to be in. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of like, in the last 3-4 years, you've literally done the same thing. You haven't progressed. You haven't, backslidden either, but you just stayed the same. You know what I'm saying? And to me, not their life, but if I were to do that, to me, that's a failure. You know what I'm saying? That's
depressing.
That's a waste of time for sure.
Yes, man. I'm gonna be
time
real,
is going by and I'm just doing the same. Like I said, I don't want to be 50 years old still trying to figure out what cuts are in. You know what I'm saying? That's just out of my, social class at that point. Like, hey, look, I don't know what's going on, and I don't want to be trying to figure it out. Like, y'all still doing that drop fade? Like, they're like, nah, over there, we not doing that. So that's my thing. Is just like, figure out what's next always, because you don't want to be doing the same thing for forever, unless you employ other people, a younger group, a younger staff to keep those same ideas and ideals flowing for you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only way. That's the only way.
Damn, man. This has been a fire. It has been a fire episode right here. I ain't even gonna hold you. We gotta. I like the older guests. I'm not calling you old, but they like the older guests.
Hey man, it's been a lot of knowledge, man. A lot of knowledge.
Any more questions or what? You guys done or what?
Do you have another question for us?
Let's see. What would you say is, for both of you guys, what would you say is the most money you're trying to make?
What you mean? The most money I'm trying to make? Like, as in what? Well, like as like a financial goal that I have?
Yeah, what's the most money you're trying to make?
Honestly, bro, the biggest flex I can have, bro, and I'm not even trying to be, you guys know I'm not a airy fairy ass nigga. All right. I'm not at all. But bro, after I retire my mom, bro, everything else is pretty much it's just a cherry on top after that, bro. The Lambo, taking pictures for you niggas, that's just what I want to do, right? But the main goal, bro, is just retire my mom. Like, I don't even got to be rich before I do that. Just yeah.
I would be cliche and say, a millionaire, but I do agree with the retiring my mom. Make sure my mom got her bills paid, and make sure my dad got his car that he want. And then after that, I'm cool. So probably like, I'm gonna say probably like 300-400K. That yearly, but I want to be a millionaire for sure.
I would say Pat's answer was more so what I'm looking for, and then your first part of your answer was until you gave me the actual dollar amount.
So you didn't want an actual dollar amount.
It's a trick question because it's like you should never retire from making money, no matter how much it is, no matter what the gross is. Now, if you land on something and you get stuck there, you should always be trying to figure out what's next. Like I said, so there is no real dollar amount. If you were to ask me the same question, I'd be like, I don't know. I'm trying to just keep, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to just keep striving so far that the numbers don't matter. But like Pat said, it's all about what you can do along the way. I want to retire my mom. I want to retire everybody around me. You know what I mean? I want to retire myself. But the money doesn't matter. It's about the things that I can achieve along the way. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about the dollar amount. It's about what and who you can help along the way, and give back or people you can help. Exactly. So I wasn't really looking for a dollar amount because, that is more of like a selfish goal. Like, hey, I'm trying to make $1 million. Like, why are you trying to make $1 million? Because I'm trying to flex. I'm trying to buy a Lambo. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not really what we're here.
My million is for generational wealth. That's what I want to establish.
Generational wealth. $1 million is not generational wealth.
I can trust and believe.
Everything.
I'm gonna do a lot with $1 million.
You can do a lot with $1 million, but it's not gonna last that long. You got taxes. You got inflation. So let's just say you're young. So you get $1 million. Let's say you get $1 million in 5 years, but you don't even have kids yet. Where's the generational coming from?
So I didn't mean to put a cap.
Let's just say you buy one house, $500,000. You're down to $500,000. Where's the generational wealth?
See, look, I didn't mean to put a cap on that.
No, okay.
I said, I explained it to you in the goals that I want to achieve.
And that's why I said the first part of your answer was right.
Okay.
Bro,
that makes sense.
Do you believe in that generational wealth, Tyler? Or no?
Yeah.
You do?
I have a child. That's another generation, isn't it?
I feel I feel.
You know who Sam Walton is?
No, who's Sam Walton?
You know who Sam Walton?
Producer, look him up. Producer. Oh, damn it, we need a producer bad.
I don't know who Sam Walton is. I don't.
You guys heard of Sam's Club?
No. Sam's Club?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard of Sam. I can go to Sam's Club. Oh, is this Sam? Is that Sam?
Owner of Walmart. You think his grandkids know who he is? You think his grandkids know who he is?
Definitely know who he is.
Come on now. You don't know who he is because you're not in his lineage. You're not in the generation. There's no generational wealth for you, but for his kids and his kids that's running the business to this day. Do you believe in generational wealth? I just broke it down for you.
Yeah.
I don't see. All right,
that's what I want to do. The empire. That's what I want to build.
It doesn't have to be as big as that, but having something left for you, like let's say when you pass away or whatever, and that is still operational for somebody else to take on, is generational wealth. It's not always about the dollar amount. It's about leaving something behind that will give the next generation a leg up. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine if our parents were like millionaires and we all played sports And imagine we was paying for AAU and all the best training and all the best this, we'd probably be a lot further.
I'd be in the league.
Huh?
I said I'd be in the league.
I'm saying I'd be in the league too. Playing with Aaron Judge and them. You know what I'm saying? That's just the reality of it all. So imagine seeing that and realizing that you could do the same for your kids that aren't here yet. You know what I'm saying? What you should be building is for something, because people say, oh, you can't take the money with you. You can, but you can leave it for people that are in your family, you know what I mean? That are still living when you're not. Whether that's 100 years, 10 years, 20 years. But I mean, we all got friends that are dying yesterday and tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We all got people that are dying way too soon. And then you see what taco stands and barbecue plates being sold for $5 to help with the funeral. But it's like they were flexing when they were here, though. So that's back to the point you guys were making with, oh, that's 10 bands in his backpack. But if he died today, they're going to have a taco stand for him to raise up the money. So it's like, where's all that money going? They're not saving it. They're not investing it. So it's kind of like, that's the difference about flexing and actually having money. You know what I mean? And being, like you said, quote unquote, rich is not having anybody worry about you when you pass away. And they can actually grieve in peace and not be worried about how are we going to get this paid? How are we going to bury him the right way? Not to talk about like death on you guys.
Question for you.
Go ahead.
What, you giving us this information, let's refer to your own child. What do you want to instill in your daughter to understand, because she's not a young man, we're speaking as young men. Young man and a man. What do you want to instill in her as a woman in the future when it comes to, just growing up, dealing with finances, dealing with just life, period,
I'd like to instill in her that, she doesn't need a man to, do certain things, obviously.
Whoa.
I mean, you gotta look at in the world right now, there's a lot of female entrepreneurs that are making way more money than men.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not like a bad thing, but that's the reality of it. You know what I mean? Things have shifted from our parents' ages and where they're like, oh, I'm making this amount, but she got the same coworker as a male making more than her. It's not like that anymore. So definitely having a daughter is instilling her that she can do anything that she wants to, and that I will make sure that it's easier for her than the route that I travel down. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be. I mean, you guys are from Stockton, right? So it's just like the kids. You ever seen some of the kids that are from Lincoln? They get the old Benz that pops.
Man, I seen somebody get a Camaro.
That's what I'm saying, because there's a little bit more money in that family. You know what I'm saying? And that's my thing is like, hey, look, I didn't even get a car. I bought it myself. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, hey, look, I'm going to instill in you that dad's going to give you what you need, and it may be better than some of the other people, and it may not be. But you're going to be satisfied with what I give you because you're going to work for it. So that's kind of what I want to instill in her too. It's like, yeah, I'm going to give you what you want and some needs, or needs and some wants, but you're going to work for it and put, make sure the grades are good, or the, sports accolades and stuff like that. Then I want to be in a position where I can bless my child beyond what I had. You know what I'm saying? But not spoil her either. You know what I mean?
So simple that, all you got to do is take care of your business. And then you get whatever you want, but then I'm gonna be that parent. You feel me? That all I gotta do is get good grades. Yeah, he get good grades one time. Can I get this? No. Why? I always get on good grades. Nah, exactly. You don't need it this time. It's just showing them. They gotta work a lot harder, and showing them that you're not gonna always get that recognition when you do good at something.
True, 100%. And they gotta be okay with being able to, pat yourself on the back. Like, you know what? I did good. Nobody else saw it, but the work that I put in, I'm happy with myself. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. It's a lot of depression going around right now too, because I don't know everybody's case, but a lot of people are looking for other people's praise. You know what I'm saying? And they're not really used to being like, you know what, Ty, you did good. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not focused on what other people. Yeah, exactly. Numbers. But it's like you can go 100 miles an hour and then nobody sees it. And they're just in there like, dang, like I just did all that for nothing. But was it really for nothing? No, it was for your own personal gain. Nobody has to see it. Sometimes you're supposed to just grind in silence. You know what I'm saying? Or in private, and then pop out when everything's come to fruition. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Ty, where'd you get that? Man, I've been working for 10 years. Nobody just saw it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how you got to look at it too. And I want my daughter to know that as well too. It's like, hey, Not everything is for the media. Not everything is for the accolades. Some stuff is just to grow you as a person, you know? So that'll be the biggest thing in finance. I want to make sure if I'm not here that, you know, whether, you know, my girl or my, you know, my mom, my sister, whoever, she's got a support net that's going to be around her with money that I've left over. You know what I mean? Like if something were to happen to me, you know?
Yes.
So,
God forbid.
Put the work.
Yeah, exactly.
Sean Haynes says, put the work in so you appreciate and don't take anything for granted. You take pride in what you work hard for. True.
That's true.
You
Exactly.
take pride in what you work for. Yeah, you do, man. That's my thing with the whole generational wealth thing. It's like, because it can go either way. Like the only thing I'm scared of, like you said, like there's people out here who will literally be year 3, year 4 doing the same shit. Week 3, I'm like, yo, this work shit was cool, but hey, what's going on, bro? I don't know about that. Not everybody thinks like that, and that can get amplified if you came in, you were already rich. So it's like my biggest thing is like if I don't off the rip, you can tell if your kid got the fire in him or not, right? So it's like if you don't got it, your ass is gonna be struggling one way or another.
But here's the thing, though: as a father or as you know that parent, you know, you gotta, you know, analyze. Like, okay, it looks like she doesn't have the fire. How can I spark it without controlling it? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like everybody has the, you know, a brain capacity to chase things. You know what I mean? So it's like you might not have the fire in a certain way, but if you show them a way around it and to the same goal, that could have been the spark. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's the other thing too, is like, oh, he ain't got that dog. And I'm like, we know a couple of cats and dads that was harping on their sons. And he was like, oh, he just ain't got it. He ain't got it. But it's like, nah, he probably got you that's throwing him off. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of kids like that, even playing like baseball and stuff like that, dads would be so on him to the point where he's pitching a bad game. He goes to the dugout crying, tears. The mad tears where he ain't making no emotions, just tears running down his face. Y'all know them crying. So he was more frustrated than anything. He wasn't sad or hurt. He was hot. You know what I mean? Like, man, my dad won't get off me. But days he wasn't there, son would be an A1 player. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's knowing how to approach each situation from what your child shows you in their personality or their mindset. You know what I mean? And somehow not necessarily tricking them, but showing them another route to where it is as a dad that I want my daughter to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And eventually at some point she's going to make her own decisions, but my goal is to shoot her some, you know, all the just everything you need. You know what I mean? You need the inspiration, you need the motivation, you need the skills, the life skills. You need just so much in this life to really just be successful. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
that perspective. Thank you for that. Because I was like 2 seconds away from saying if I don't see it, I'll give up on the kid with the quickness. I got too many to be sitting here trying to drag you up. I'm going with the best and brightest first. I want a lot of kids.
Right.
So it's like,
but back to the generational wealth part though, it's like you said, or like Omari said, it's like you got to give, but be able to take away too. You know what I mean? So it's not like, you know, some of these rich kids where we see like, you know, for an example, what's his name? He was partying with Drake before he even got signed. What's his name? You guys know the quarterback?
Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel. So it's kind of like, bro, he was raw. Why didn't he make it all the way where he was supposed to? It's because that generational wealth. That's a bad version of generational wealth, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm the outside looking in. He came from oil money. He came from, and that's not negative. Parents' success isn't a negative.
It's not.
But let's just say, and I'm just making this up, his parents didn't have that type of time to give him. So they put him in the best schools. They put him in the best sports, but they're not that present. So now it's kind of like I'm, you know, reaching these goals and they're not there. I don't know if this is fact. I'm just saying. But they're not there. So eventually as a kid, you know, we know how it is. Like, oh man, I hit this home run or I shot this shot. My parents weren't there because they were at work. That's not a knock against them. But that's why I was telling you too, I want to create a schedule to where I can always be present for my daughter for that reason, because that little bit of support stops them from making different decisions. It's not going to stop them from all of them, but it's going to stop them from some. And we all know somebody missing a father or missing a mom. There's a group of them that struggle with different things. They become successful, some don't, but a lot of them struggle from the same stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, dang, like, and then they repeat the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with my dad. My dad wasn't there, but neither was his. but it's up to me to change that, and I'll never, abandon my daughter. But that's just, I got a different mindset. You know what I'm saying? And my mom, overshadowed, or not overshadowed, but overcompensated for the absentness of one person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So long story short, it sounds like I'm all over the place, but that's pretty much it. Like, back to Johnny Manziel, it seems like, how do you go from top tier athlete to not even in the league anymore after one season? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Dad comes from money, or parents come from money in Texas, so he already had money. So that's why he was partying with Drake in college. You know what I'm saying? Drake had him on a song, or he was mentioning him on a song. Like, he was already living a life before he even had to really put in the work. But he put in the work a little bit, got to a certain point, and now he's not even talked about. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When he could have did one season, when he went to the Browns, Bengals, whatever, could have did 1 or 2 seasons because it was a bad team at the time and got traded or did something else. But now he's not in the league at all. He been in rehab 3-4 times since then. So it's just kind of like that, back to the generational wealth. It's like, you got to be present, and you have to create the guidelines that you want your children to go. Give them the free will to make choices and stuff like that. But when you see them kind of get off course, hey, son, like, this is how this is supposed to be. Or hey, son, hey, daughter, this is how this is supposed to be. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I want to instill in my daughter too. Is like, but I definitely want to have that cushion to where, oh, you want to do gymnastics? All right, bet, we'll pay for that. Or not be like, oh man, I got to go to work. Who's going to drop you off? Who's going to pick you up? You know what I mean? Or we can't afford that. Gymnastics is expensive. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you traveling the world? Like, oh, we got to skip this competition, sweetie, because that's in LA. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be that parent because you can't get off work or you don't have enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I definitely think environment, finances, and the right parents will definitely give you the right recipe for success. 100%. Doesn't have to be super rich, and the parents don't have to be super rich either. It's just about being present as much as possible. You know what I mean? Kids thrive on that. When I come home from my half day at work, my daughter's hands are wide open. Daddy, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, they appreciate that type of stuff. But if I were to work 12 and I get home, she's already asleep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
now it's like, then I see her in the morning for a second when I'm back going to work. Hey, boo, hey, all right, I'm gone. You know what I mean? And it's like, what did she really see in the last 2 days? Not me.
You just saw your face and a glimpse of something, and
there you go.
Not that presence, not you, helping her with this, or being there, fixing her bowl of cereal,
There you go. Exactly.
That's gonna go a long way.
100%. 100%.
Especially when they get older and they can really, talk about the stories,
Exactly.
Daddy used to do this, that.
That's the stuff that lasts a lifetime. You know what I mean? Is the stories and memories. I mean, those are things that you can't take away or get back. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to make that memory important. You know what I'm saying? Or last a long time. So that's the biggest thing. And you can't make a memory without being present, or those memories are going to be without you. You know what I mean? Oh, remember when mom did this? Oh, dad. Oh, you were at work. You sitting there like dang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you got to hear that story secondhand. When you get home from work and your wife's like, oh yeah, so she did this today. And you just like, dang, I missed that again. You know what I mean? Everybody has to work, so it's not everybody's schedule, but those are just things that you want to think about when having kids, is being present, And obviously they go to school, so I mean, you don't have to be there at school with them, but everybody's lifestyle is different. So I mean, you just got to figure out what works for you in the betterment of your situation first and foremost, because you guys don't have kids. But
you got me thinking about children in the whole. I'm not even God.
That's what I said, man. I just got out of high school and I'm already thinking.
That's just a different perspective. But you guys don't have kids, so that's not something you need to worry about. But
leave it for the parenthood talk, man. You guys are getting some value right now. That's crazy.
Hey man, just like the video period, man.
Yeah,
but back to what you're saying. Yeah, because just thinking about it, putting myself in the, I want to have kids. I'm like, 27, 28, 30-year-old perspective. I just feel hurt if I get to miss them first steps or them first words or something like that, man. I'll be like, damn,
I'll be okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's different. Yeah, I feel like I for surely, my kids gonna have the best daddy in the world, man.
I'm not trying to be there every day.
I mean, not every day, but I mean, most jobs are 5 to 6 days a week. So when are you gonna be there?
I feel that now, but like by the time I have kids, right? Because we were talking about this later. I want to be an old dad, man. I want to have like my first kids around like 37, 38 type shit, right? Like,
but that's not really old though. That's not really old because if you think about it, if you're 40 and they're 20, you're 60, and men don't really get old until like 75, 80. If you think about it,
yeah.
You look at Michael Jordan, and a lot of these cats still be coming to the game. Magic Johnson, he's in his 60s. He was just on vacation in some tropical island. I'm like, yo, he's living. So 40 is not old for a man. Now, obviously, women are a little different because of just the natural aging process of the body. So, however late they want to have kids, that's their prerogative. But you kind of got to just be mindful of that. You know what I'm saying? So, because not everyone will be having kids at 40.
Well, shit, so if she can't hang, I'm gonna have to find a lady who can. I'm gonna be real. You can't hang. That's not my problem.
So yeah, like 40 is not old. You want to just make sure that you're able and agile enough to help your child through sports. 40 is not old though, especially not for a man. Women, I don't really know how that.
No, let's go. We know. Let's be real. 40. I'm gonna be real. Some of y'all is hitting 25 and looking kind of rough. All right. So look,
I'm not talking look wise. I'm talking like natural progression of the female.
Yeah, because the risk of pregnancy and stuff like that.
The risk.
Yeah. Once I think it's like, what is it, like mid 30s or something like that?
Once you hit 30, it real tough to have a baby.
Yeah. So I think anywhere from 35 to 40 is that gray area. You know what I'm saying? But 38, 37, those people that deliver just fine. But when you get to like 40 range, it's a little, a little tricky.
Shit is that gonna force me to have babies at 28 because she can't have man. I don't shoot blanks. Don't be mad at me.
Hey man.
I'm crying.
Yeah. All right, what is that, man? Other than that, yeah, this was lit. We got some stuff in the chat. Mom says I can say all three of my kids work hard and have ambitions. Yeah, I ain't gonna call. I know you got favorites, Mom. You don't got to say who it is, but I know.
Oh, that's your mom?
That is Mom's. Yeah, that's my mom. You don't got to say who the best kid is, but she knows who. She knows.
You're cussing it. You got moms on the line. What you talking about?
Who do you think I get it from, man? Who do you think I get it from? Mom's a sailor. My mom is a sailor. She doesn't like to say it, but yeah, she's a sailor. Yeah, my mom is like a sailor.
Hey man, that's
late 30s.
I don't know who's in here. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, late 30s, early 40s.
Women have more problems.
See, look, that's why I feel like 27, 28. Because I want to be somewhat of a young parent, and then I want to be a young grandparent as well. So like I can be 60 or like 55 when my first grandchildren is born, somewhere around there.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm trying to be on some G shit. I'm like
this
38.
boy trying to be 85. His his grandchildren is born at 85.
No,
my great grandmother passed at 85. So
I will say this. It depends on the type of money you make, man. I see some cats that get married young, it didn't work out. They still making money, and then they have kids at 55, 60. So Michael Jordan got two twins right now, and they only like 3 years old. So you subtract 3 years old off his life right now. So Reggie Miller just had a kid Christmas Day. We all know who Reggie Miller is. You know what I'm saying? So
that boy kind of
we know what type of money he makes or came from, but
exactly.
I don't think that's his original wife either, though. You know what I'm saying? I don't know factual, but
what's wrong with me being 40 years old?
Scottie Pippen, same thing. He's got older kids and kids that are like 13. Scottie Pippen like 60. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So you just do the math on that. He's 48 having kids. You know what I'm saying? So it all just depends. Though you got to the right amount of money. You don't necessarily have to live by anyone's standard, but you definitely might need two wives.
I'm gonna make these niggas so sick, Tyler. I'm going to have multiple. If you watch the podcast, you can tell the type of lifestyle I'm trying to cultivate, bro. I'm not making a lot of money just because. Do you hear the type of life a nigga is trying to live? I'm trying to flex, trying to have multiple wives, trying to have minimum 10 kids. Like, bruh, that's a lot going on.
You need to move to the Middle East.
You need a bag to do that. I don't got to convert to Islam, not yet. I might. Thinking about it, but hey, yeah, it's definitely a minute. And once I do it, because I'm gonna do it, these niggas is gonna be sick. Their stomachs that I pulled it off.
I think just you,
just me. I'm not gonna be sick. That's what I wanted. I want to have a lot of kids, man. I want to do multiple women. Yeah, but they got to be your. Don't do the whole baby mama thing. That's not good.
I'm not dealing
That's
with none of that.
You don't want
at all.
You know what? Do I have to convert to Islam? I'm thinking about it.
Not dealing with none of that. Whoever I have my first kid with is who I'm marrying.
I can have more wives. I can do that. I can pull it off.
I ain't got time for that headache. I ain't got time to be dealing with multiple.
Yeah, man.
Multiple females. I'm good because both of y'all is gonna have mood swings at one point, and I ain't got time for dealing with that. I'm good.
But this is the way I think about it, right? It's like, hey, you better chill out. You see your competition right there. You know, you see what I mean? Hey, whoa. You get a little rowdy over there. You know what I mean? You got. I'll put you on the bench in a second. You know what I mean?
You know what? Hey, sub.
Yeah,
competition is a good thing.
That man, crazy.
Yeah. Well, this has been the longest podcast we've ever had. This was a crazy.
Oh, wait, really?
Yes, our longest podcast was actually yesterday. It was an hour 56 minutes. We just beat the record, man.
Yeah. So shout out. It is late.
It's 10:09.
Shout out to Tyler Jordan coming out here talking to us, man. Shout out to him. This has been a great guest. You guys
appreciate you
a lot.
I'm trying to come into the studio when you guys get the studio going.
Oh,
yeah, Tyler wanted to have an in-person episode.
Yeah, we gonna get this. We gonna get the stew, man. We gonna get the stew.
Yeah, you guys need it.
Yeah, stew. We gonna get the stew, man.
Yeah, we gonna get the stew because the stew, man. I feel like that's gonna be so lit. We gonna have everything set up, man. We gonna have the logo by then. We gonna have the backdrop, have everything, man.
Money in, yeah.
And we gonna have some after-hour episodes.
Oh yeah. Have multiple wives in person. You niggas know I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I'm real about it. All right.
Hey, now that'll be lit though if you guys have the little studio in the next year or something like that.
Yeah.
Then you guys put in your business name and get business credit, and then you start buying equipment.
I was actually thinking about that, because we were thinking about getting like a room, like a hotel room, and doing that. Sure, we see if we can rent out an office or something.
I would do an office, a hotel room, because that would be kind of like a constant price. You know what I'm saying? Like a purchase every day. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys are trying to be cheap, what are you gonna do? Motel 6 or you know what I'm saying? The Hilton's like $100 a day.
We gonna put some into it so we can get some out of it. We gonna have some nice.
Yeah, I definitely would look into office space or something like that, where you can even maybe lease it. You know what I'm saying? And then let it be serve a multi-purpose, so that way, if the podcast isn't jumping off when you guys are making money, you guys can do other things or offer other things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if it's an event space, you know what I'm saying? And there's a course on that too. So, get an event space, you can do your podcast, and then on the weekends you can rent it out to people doing baby showers and stuff like that. So I would look into, trying to lease something in nicer areas, you know what I'm saying? Brookside, 8 Mile, Ben Holt, and then do your podcast during the week, and on the weekends rent it out, and then the other businesses making money, you know what I'm saying? Right. And it's paying for the podcast.
So can pay for
now you can start paying your guests, hey, look, high profile guests, hey, look, so and so, hey, we'll give you $100 to just come out here to show us some love, so that's just something to think about too.
Whoa.
We are trying to network a lot more. We've been moving, we've been grooving, slowly but surely.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you had something.
He said, "Whoa."
Hey, Tyler is that man. He just dropped some gems. I didn't think about it like that, man.
Yeah, think about that. You got to get something that's multi-purpose, especially if not everything is jumped off yet. You know what I mean? So if you're really trying to get this podcast going, you might have to take an alternate route. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that could be getting money from somewhere else. So that way it's in your guys' pocket as a business, and boom, boom, boom. Now you're up in the ante on the, on the podcast. And now it's dang, they got their own studio. But little do they know, you're renting out for baby showers and wedding receptions. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of how you got to look at it.
Tyler
Nobody needs to know that, or you can post that.
Entrepreneur for real.
He is. He is an entrepreneur for real.
Yeah, that's how you got to think about it. I'm actually thinking about doing that too, though. So that's why I said that.
Nice.
Not for the podcast, though, but just,
I get what you're saying.
Sure, we're going to keep this.
I take pride in the fact that we got a thing. We go to like how many niggas start podcasts and don't even get to 40 episodes, right? And me and Mari said we not really a podcast till you get to at least 40, right? We are well on our way to getting to that goal. We were a business before we were a podcast. We had money in before we were a podcast.
That's good. That's good.
Shout out to the Patreon. You guys are lit. Yeah.
Yeah, man. You want to get those high level clients, so you're gonna have to, start paying them, or just continue getting your name out there too, so that way they could see. And that's my take on the podcast. I feel like if I got high level profile people that I can kind of get into contact with, they're not gonna just like, oh yeah, what's the little podcast y'all talking about? You know what I mean? It's gonna have to be some type of contractual, or you got to start making money. It's like, hey, look, we'll give you 20% of everything we make off of this one video. You got to start giving people incentives to want to do it until you get to where they're like, I need to do it because you guys are going to help me get to the next level. You see what I'm saying?
I tried to hit somebody with like 14K on Instagram back when we had 52 subscribers. He showed some love and responded. He said, man, I'll check it out, man. Thanks for showing the love. That was just a nice way of saying no. I appreciate it though. Yeah. It's all good.
And 14K that's regular. I know regular people are
crazy. Yeah, I mean they got like on YouTube, they got like I think they got like 40K. It's still bigger. It's still bigger than us. So for surely, I mean, it's not life changing a little bit, but it's not nothing that's just dumb crazy.
It's not life changing. I know a couple of cats with millions of views trending number one, and they still got time for a lot of stuff. So don't let the 14K or the 2,000 subscribers, like that's all.
Let that shit get to your head,
they still getting it like y'all. So don't let that fool you. That's back to the whole thing we were talking about was perception. You know what I mean? Don't let a few subscribers and a few likes really change your perspective on somebody until you know them. Because at the end of the day, they could, look at my resume, look at this, look at that, but they could still just be no better than you guys,
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, that's how you gotta look at it.
Got it for sure.
Man, this has been episode 31. Don't overthink it podcast.
31 of the Don't Overthink It podcast, man.
After hours.
Hey man, hey man. It's been Young in the Head and Mr.
Patrick Haynes
and the special guest Tyler Jordan, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, don't overthink it, man. ASMR edition.
ASMR edition. Every episode like this now. Yeah, we were gonna see you
good, man. I appreciate you guys for reaching out.
Thank you for coming on, man.
Awesome. We were glad that you came on the show.
Any final thoughts, Tyler? Anything you want to lead the people with?
Lead the people, I'd rather leave you guys with just, stay focused, stay grinding, stay grounded. We're living in a generation where it's easy to lose sight on what's really good in this world and what's really worth, your time and your effort. So I would say, just take heed to what you feel inside and just be like, man, you know what? I heard myself say this a couple of times and I'm just going to go with it. I have a feeling that this is going to work. And if it doesn't, document everything. So that way, you know what you can, decipher to take and learn from, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to leave you guys, being so young. And if I could do it all over, knowing what I know now, man, you wouldn't even be talking to me right now. Nah.
Hey, that's respectable.
Yeah, you know what I mean? What I've learned in the last 2 years, if I could apply it to my life at 18, 19, or 20, man, it'd be a different ball game. But I learned a lot of this stuff, just like you said. Like I was saying, it's not overnight. It's a gradual thing. Learning is gradual. That's why they give you 4 years of college, because you don't need 1 year to learn everything. You need 4 years, and then there's another institution you can go to get more education. You know what I'm saying? Get your BA and all these other acronyms that I don't even know what stand for. You know what I'm saying? So education is gradual. So why not apply that to the entrepreneurial lifestyle too, or any lifestyle, if you choose not to go to college? You know what I mean? So education is gradual, life is gradual. So just always stay focused on what it is that, your heart desires, And there's other little things that'll sprinkle in there too that, hey, look, you know what? I don't really care too much about this, but I'm gonna invest in that. And it might hit, you know what I mean? So I think that's what I want to leave you two with, being so young. Focus on your dreams, go play sports, Go web design. Do everything that you need to do. Want to do.
Chase a goddamn bag.
Chase it.
I'm about a bag. Gotta ask me. You feel me?
And if the bag is empty when you get it, keep the bag because eventually you're gonna have to put something in it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you gotta look at it. You know what I mean? Every step is a learning tool. You know what I'm saying? So, and don't be too stuck on the followers and the this and the that, because at the end of the day, man, I know millionaires that have no Instagram. You know what I'm saying? I know people making less than me who got 20 to 50,000 followers. So
nice.
Wow.
You just gotta sift through the BS every now and then. So
it's a matrix.
I feel like I just grew up on this podcast right here, man. Shout out to Tyler, man. I'm gonna be real. After this, I care about one number.
What is that?
Checking account. That's it, bro. Other than that, everything else can just be. I don't care. All right.
Yeah.
Sean Haynes says, Ty, you're going to be a great father / husband. Stay blessed and grounded and continue to prosper. Well, those are nice.
I need to do a podcast with Mom. She the one that's giving all the.
She ain't never said that shit to me. Hey, where your mom at, nigga? No,
right. break Mom on.
Shout out to Mom.
Man, we're looking forward to have you on in the future, man. We really appreciate you being on the podcast, man.
That's what's up, man. I'm praying you guys blow up.
Hey, man, we staying consistent every day. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to stay motivated. Appreciate all the good words that you said to us. And now let's get to the post podcast. Everybody, we gave y'all some content. We
got a lot of content, damn it. All right, you guys. Peace.
I love.
The dash busy, the schedule busy. My head in a hoodie, my shorty a goodie. My cousins are crazy, my cousins like